And we are live. Hey, Concrete.
Hey, Danny girl.
How's it going, honey?
Tired. Oh my gosh. It's been a long week. How you feeling though?
Child, it had got real out here to me.
Why?
I was sick as all hell. Like last week. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, my anemia. I'm chronically anemic, and
Um,
just I felt so gangster that I was like, oh, I ain't gotta take these goddamn vitamins.
uh,
Like, and they was like, bet we'll see.
I caught up to you, huh?
Huh, honey.
Mm,
So it had got real out here to me. It put me down for a couple days, and I've
mm.
slept. So hopefully I don't look like a ninja turtle anymore, honey, because it had got real out here. And so
uh,
yeah, honey.
child, I'm still like, I feel much better than I felt, but I still have some residual sickness. I'm like, what is going on? This thing is just lingering. I feel much better. Like I said, just a little tiny bit of residual sickness trying to hang on in there.
Girl, you got to clear it on out.
I know, but I don't like taking meds. So even like vitamins, and my fiance is into like homeopathic medicine. He is, I'm telling you, child, this man can, he is really very religious about taking vitamins and herbs and colloidal silver, and did you take this and did you take that, and you take it every day, that way you don't get sick. So he has been trying to get me on that regimen for quite some time, and I'll go for like weeks or months at a time, and I'm doing okay and I'm doing right, and then I'm like, I feel good, why do I need to keep taking it? So
That's how I
I
feel.
hate having to take anything like regularly.
Oh, so you felt gangster too.
Yeah, I did, but I should have definitely kept on taking it, because I'm certain that I wouldn't
You bored him a little bit, huh?
still be sick. Organ.
Oh, you good now. You
Okay,
good
I
now.
just had to switch my position. So, but girl, other than that, about this show, first off, hello to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out on this lovely Sunday. We have another early show. I know last week Sunday, when you held it down, you did an early show, earlier than this one actually. So we're doing another early show. Go ahead and get it in and get it out. We know some of y'all like to tune in to the Rumble and tune into some of our other regular Sunday evening shows. So we decided to go ahead and pop on here a little early.
Yes, honey. Let's get off into this topic, honey.
Hmm.
has
Let's talk
vagina
about it.
has vagina finally been defeated? And
Hmm.
so, with all the stuff that's going on in the manosphere, the thought
Hmm.
processes of the manosphere, it just got me to thinking. We're used to men taking certain roles and doing certain things for us.
Hmm.
We've kind of had it pretty good as far as women are concerned, in a sense, because most people's lives aren't easy, but it's like, has vagina been defeated? Meaning, has men's big heads finally overrode their little heads? Are men still thinking with their dicks? Um,
Hmm.
or have men kind of gotten to a place like, well, shit, if I'm not benefiting from this, why am I doing this? If I'm helping her and I'm not getting anything out of it, what good is it doing me? And
Hmm.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, damn. It seems like we starting to lose, child. I mean, if you look at the price of vagina nowadays, they're saying that
$40, girl, $40 holla. Like, what is that about? Like, listen, I don't know how we got here to $40 though. Like that is like, those are crackhead prices. We can't. I refuse to believe that that's where we are.
Complex asked, why is there an assumption that all men do that? Because at some point, all men have.
See, and I don't assume all men do. I've met men, I'm going to tell you something. It's very rare, but I've met a few, just a few men who are extremely disciplined, and they're not ruled, or kind of, they don't kind of feed into those ideologies. So sometimes you meet them, but why do you say at some point in their life that all men are, kind of fall victim to
Because
the.
because if it's a man's natural nature to be
Mhm,
attracted to beauty and fertility and youth, right?
mhm, mhm,
And if a woman is really sweet and she's beautiful and she has a really nice body and she asks you for something and she's really sweet and she's feminine, a lot of men go for that. Not to say that this bitch can't be the most evil something on the planet.
mhm,
Um, but men are willing to do certain things because of how a woman looks and how she carries herself.
mm.
And so, it just got me to wondering, like, well, damn, is it over for us? Being
Hmm.
the minister kind of makes you think, well, goddamn, are men still gonna help us when we need help?
Mhm,
Will men still look out for women that don't necessarily belong to their tribe?
mhm.
Basically, watch this, it's going to get a lot of pushback. Are men still going to be simps for women? God damn it, I said it.
That's, and that's what I was wondering, if that's kind of what you're talking. The topic is, it like relating to simp culture, and are you saying basically kind of like, is simp culture coming to an end, or are we seeing fewer men that are subscribing to simp culture?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
I got you.
yes. So do
Hmm.
you think? So what do you think about that?
Um, I am like so out of the loop as it pertains to that. I mean, okay, like in all seriousness, I really believe in, like, I have old fashioned values. I think that there are certain things that a man is supposed to do as it pertains to a woman, but there are a whole list of things that a woman is supposed to do as it relates to men. Um, and I don't even, the things that and maybe we're talking about two totally different things, but the things that I think of, that kind of are specific to a man's role, I think that they are just almost inherent, and they're supposed to be done, and I don't look at it as simping. But maybe you're talking about, like, maybe not even women who you have any type of relationship for, or maybe simping for the um possibility of getting somewhere with a woman.
Yeah. But even still,
Mm-hmm.
you're because at one point the culture was, and this is my opinion, I think that men were just willing to help a woman because she was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with and I was using the pretty woman as a good example of what men willing to do. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I just fell a little short on my car note, and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to do about it. I'll pay your car note. you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay your mortgage. And now they
See
like,
now, okay. So help. I do remember. Well, I do know that there was a time that men just automatically stepped into that role and defended women and helped women out, and you saw men, being chivalrous on a very regular basis, and doing anything in their power for sisters. But like paying bills and stuff like that, that's a little different. That's a step above, I guess, what I assume a man's role is, or was at one point in time in the community.
well, I think men paid more bills back in the day. Personally, I
Mm-hmm.
do. Um,
You talking about even in personal relationships, you feel like they
I'm
did.
just saying, like, if I
Mm-hmm.
knew, I know of a lot of decent women
Mm-hmm.
or not so decent women who used to be able to get their bills paid if they just cried a little bit,
I got you.
and men were like, you know what, I'm going to help her ass out because she's just a nice lady and she's just in a bind, not like make
Okay.
them in a bind, but um, so I
Yeah.
just thought it was a really, really interesting thing. And I was wondering, like, has the simping stopped? Has it slowed down? Has it come to an end? Will it ever stop? Has the vagina been defeated, honey?
Okay. So, as it relates to what you're speaking of, I know of just a few, very few women that I know of that have done that and have kind of manipulated situations with their beauty and their assets and their feminine wiles. Um, and the women that I do know of that have done that, there doesn't seem to be a shortage of men that are lining up to be used in that way by those specific women. Like one of my closest friends, I know, and I've talked about her on not on our platform, but within the space before, because she would do the what was it, the not the dine and dash but the dinner dates for, like, she always, she'll call up a guy and say, she's hungry and they take her out to eat, but she doesn't feign interest. She doesn't make you think that you're going to get somewhere with her if you take her out to eat or anything like that. And that's just something small that she does, but she, that's like on a small scale what she does and how she manipulates men. But she continues to do it, and there doesn't seem to be, I don't see it, there doesn't in real life, that doesn't seem to be slowing down. Maybe on the internet, I don't know, but from what I can see, I don't see her having now a shortage of men who are willing to do that. So
Very interesting.
but like I said, I don't know a lot of women who do that, so my scope is limited when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think since I'm and I have old ass friends.
Mm-hmm. See, I would
you
have
know,
thought it was more of the young chicks that do stuff like that. I was gonna say maybe I'm old and I'm, just been out the game too long.
but well, like with older women, one of the first things they'll ask you when you dealing with a man and they meet and see you got a new man, or see you have a man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does he have any money? Is he paying any bills? Like, what benefit is he to you? Are you just laying around getting a wet ass?
Yeah, I've heard those types of things be said. Yeah, I've heard those things said. Yeah.
And country black women, honey, they don't give a damn. They gonna
Yeah.
say
Mm-hmm.
and then they be meaning what they say too, child. So it's like, well, goddamn, he a person. And
Yeah.
I think men have kind of made it seem like they don't really do a lot of these things, but wait.
I do know that those types of ideologies are pervasive within our culture. My family is from Mississippi, and I've heard things like that. And oh, you got a man, or you laying down with somebody you ain't supposed to want for nothing. That type of mindset. So I understand what you're referring to.
I had seen a post.
Mm-hmm.
And a girl, it was like a meme type of thing. A girl slept with a guy and her car ended up messing up. And the guy said he wasn't going to help her fix her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, goddamn, she just gave you some ass. Like, why would you?
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
was like, she knew her car needed to be fixed prior to that. Fair exchange.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, like, if I'm giving her sex, and I've had guys tell me, like, look, I've actually, like, guys, I've heard guys say, I actually do better than the woman. And so
Mm-hmm.
why the fuck should anything?
Oh yeah. Like they're putting in more work. Okay. Okay, so I got
Yeah.
a better one that was like a meme that was going around for a couple of years, and it was kind of the reverse. So a woman, a single mom, she was dealing with this guy, and she told him, "Oh, my child got a field trip." Have you ever seen that one?
I think I have, but
My
go
kid,
through it.
yeah. My kid has a field trip tomorrow, and I need $20. With $20, so what type of chick clearly he was messing with or whatever. But the guy was like, "Oh, okay," and she asked him for it, and he basically declined to give it to her and told her, she should be asking the kid's dad and this, that, and the other. And she got offended and was like, "I'm, dealing with you on this level, and you can't even give me $20 for my child to go, to this field trip." And he kind of like read her about herself and was letting her know, like, you got, you, the child's father, that's not my job, that's not my role. And so it was always interesting to read the responses on that. But I saw that for like 3 years floating around on like on social media. So, but he kind of flipped it like, "Oh no, this ain't that, that's not my job."
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting because most guys is like, hell nah, I wouldn't give her $20 for her little badass kid to go on a field
I
trip.
mean, I agree with his response. I think it was like even something like a fairly new relationship. And even if it wasn't, like, why do you think it's this man's job to pay for a field trip for your child though? Like, and then you wait till like the night before, like you didn't know this field trip was coming up. They tell you about kids' field trips 30 days in advance, and then you don't have $20. Like, what's wrong with this picture? Like, I don't know. It just I was, let's see, like I agreed with his response to her requests.
So then she fumbled
Mm-hmm.
because a wet ass in an empty bag.
Okay, so you feel like in that case, like he was supposed, like that he was supposed to have stepped up and given her the $20.
My point is, if you are laying with a man as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
now, if you are using a man for sex and you're claiming that it's just sex
Mm-hmm.
and you saying that's what it is, then that's what it's supposed to be. But if you are in any sort of gray area, first of all, I just don't believe in laying with a nigga and not being like, if I'm laying with somebody, I should be able to ask him for certain things. He should be able to ask me for certain things. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that works out. But to lay with somebody and you still have shit that you need to be taken care of, then that tells me your priorities are first of all.
True,
You
true, true,
shouldn't have been
true.
laying there in the first place. Then why would you lay with somebody who wouldn't even give your ass $20 if your baby had to go on a field trip, honey? I just was like, well,
Yeah.
goddamn.
Okay, so for me personally, I would never take a request regarding my children. I feel like that, that is their dad's job, that's my job. In addition, I'm never going to be in a position to where I'm laying up and I need $20. Like, if I need $20, I should be working 3 and 4 jobs. And I wouldn't ask any man for something that I'm simply dating and we're smashing. I don't feel comfortable asking a man for anything unless we have established a committed relationship. Like, I like, this is clearly somebody that she was just entertaining. I don't know. It's just like, that's some bum chick stuff to me. But I don't. To each their own.
Okay. Okay. I thought it was very, very interesting because most
Yeah.
guys were like, no, no, no. She knew what she was getting into. Sex is an equal exchange. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it is what it is. But I thought it was very, very interesting that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of men feel like that, and a lot of women were like, well, goddamn. Um,
Okay, what if the tables were turned? What if y'all been dating a couple weeks
girl,
and he
I'd be
come over
mad as
your
shit.
house? No, exactly. He come over your house and y'all kicking it and stuff, and he like, "Oh man, I let the bank close, and my son got a field trip tomorrow. Can I get $20 to send him
You
on
know
his
what?
field trip?"
Personally, I just be like, here, because it's fucking $20. I'm not gonna argue with you over it. I probably wouldn't like, and then to be honest with you, if you saw me the next time and didn't give me my $20 back, I'm not fucking with you no more.
I'm telling you, okay, listen, the type of the caliber of men that I deal with, if a man said something like, I said it in the way that I said it for a reason, because I can't imagine a man just not having $20, the type of men that I deal with not having $20. However, if he asked it to me in that way, the type of men that I deal with, they're trustworthy. So I'm going to believe like, oh yeah, okay, well, he simply left the bank closed and, he needs $20. Let me give it to him. But if you just a bum and you like, I ain't got $20 and my son going on a trip tomorrow, can I? Nah, so sir, and that's gonna be the last time you hear from me, because like this ain't that. I mean, you're struggling. You need to, your priorities are off. You should be focused on, getting yourself together for yourself and your child. You not dating me. And I require a lot of attention. So I'm a little bit spoiled. So I'm gonna let you focus on getting your priorities straight.
So if you went to a restaurant and the guy forgot his wallet and you had to pay,
Mm-hmm.
what would you how would you feel about that? Like,
It
let's just say it was like a
depends.
guy, like y'all had been on like one or two dates. This is the third date.
Mm, okay, so this is the third date and he forgets
Hmm.
his wallet. I probably would, because I'm telling you, like, I ain't messing with no like bratchet, hood booger, like, shisty type of men. Like, I'm pretty good at vetting. I want to, check you out. We're going to have lots of dialogue before we even go on date number one, because I don't want to waste your time or mine. I would believe that it was just a simple case of, like, I've gone to the store before and, I'm with my fiance and we go to Home Depot and he like, dang, I forgot my wallet at home, and just, had just changed clothes or just came from the gym or something and he forgot. So I know it can happen. And I'm like, babe, he don't even like me to pay for stuff. But I'm like, I got it. Like, I could go, we're not going back home for you to get your. So I would literally think that, okay, it is plausible that it could happen. And it probably did happen like that. Unless, okay, I pay for it. And then date number 4, oh, you know what? I forgot my wallet again. Like, there has to be a pattern of behavior for me to think that, like, okay, you own some mess.
I wish the nigga. Oh,
It
okay.
happened. Like Leah said, lovely Leah said, who forgets their wallet? Maybe not on the first date. I don't know that we've ever gone out to a restaurant, but like we go out, no, shoot, you know what? I walked out and didn't even have my wallet. Or, like women think of it like that because our purse, there's so much that I need in my purse. My keys are in my purse, first of all. Like men, a wallet is in his actual pants pocket. My lip gloss is in my purse. My lotion, my hand sanitizer, everything is in my purse. And I never go anywhere without a purse. I'm a purse person and I usually have a big bag. So we think about it like that, but a man's wallet is not something he has to carry physically in his hand. So it could happen. It's a low likelihood that it would happen like that, especially on a date. Like you check in. Most men too, I've seen men like they hit their back pocket to check to see if their wallet is in there.
Yeah, that's true. Um, then there's a lot of requirements of women that used to be weren't the requirements. So nowadays, it takes two people for a good household in regular America, uh, middle class America. It usually takes about two people to really accomplish a good middle class salary, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So women are required to work, cook, clean, whatever, whatever. And back in the day, these things weren't required. What do you think
Mm-hmm.
about that?
Well, I'm going to answer that, but you know what I just thought about too. I'm sorry, like I externally process, but okay. So regarding the wallet thing, because in 2020, like there are so many advancements in technology now, it'll be hard for a man to pull that, because you could be like, oh, okay, well, cash at me the amount. Like if they have their phone, they're got cash at me, Zelle me, PayPal me, whatever. So it's going to be a little more difficult for men to get away with that than it would have been 5-10 years ago. But I'm sorry, what was the question again? My apologies.
Okay. With women, like basically to run a middle class household
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, it requires two people to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so being that it's requiring two people to take care of the household, um, do you think that does any of the devaluing because the woman has to work? Like once upon a
Uh,
time, I don't necessarily say that black women, I think black women have always worked.
I mean, I know that there was okay. So my great grandmother did not work. Great grandfather owned several bars. He also owned multiple rental properties and stuff too. So she didn't work outside the home at all whatsoever, not ever. She didn't. My grandfather always paid the bills. However, there was some stuff that came with that. But in reference to today's time, so for me, even though most households require two incomes to stay afloat, um, to me, your role still shouldn't change. I mean, I am, oh my gosh, like I'm not judging women who, okay, I am judging a little bit, but I never, when women are like, what, talk about what they can't do because they work outside the home. I've always worked, and I've always either worked while going to school, worked while working a part-time job, and I still was able to manage my household, my two children, without fail. I always had dinner cooked at least 4 to 5 nights a week. My kids always had extracurricular activities that they were involved in, but I'm also a planner. So on Sunday, if I know 2 or 3 days out of the week, my kids have track practice or whatever band or whatever it is, I'm just going to start, I'm a meal prep, and I'm going to make sure I cook a big pot of something so I can freeze. Like, I don't know, I'm a planner, but I've never understood how women are, because they work outside the home, then they feel like they can't also handle the domestic responsibilities. But my fiance works outside the home. He can't be like, oh, okay, well, I ain't taking care of the lawn, or I ain't taking out trash because I work 60, 70 hours a week, or I ain't fixing whatever needs to be fixed in the house because I work. Like, I still expect him to still, like a few weeks ago we were laying here, and it was someone rang the doorbell like in the wee hours of the morning, and I like quickly like, babe, someone just rang, and he jumped up without hesitation, grabbed what he needed to grab and went to the door. Like, I'm not like going to allow him to be like, oh, but I had a long night, you go check. Like, his duties don't change because he's had a long work week, neither should mine. And I don't know, that's just me. So to me, just because both people work outside the home, your roles should not change, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
What about you? What you think about it though?
Um, I kind of feel like it made roles too equal. And so if women and men are both the breadwinners,
Mm-hmm.
and then please don't ever let the woman make more money than a man, child. Oh, money.
Yeah. That's a good one. First, Jack, he likes cutting the lawn, and he's obsessive about how, about our entire house. So, like, certain things, like, why pay the kid down the street $20 if you can do it? And we have a third of an acre in the back of our house. Like, $20 ain't gonna cut it. Nobody's cutting our grass for $20. But someone said something about, BAP. She said she only wants her future husband or her influencing her kids, so one of them will have to stay home. If I had it to do all over again, that's how I would do it. I'm resourceful enough that I would be able to either just have like a part-time online job, or I'm resourceful enough that I would be able to, he makes herbs and he makes, all kinds of things, like find some additional income without working outside the home. I would stay home to raise the children and not send my children to public school if I had it to do all over again. We could, and a lot of people can survive off of one salary. You just ain't going to get your hair done every 2 weeks and getting your nails done every week. And you know what I mean? You may, things may be a little tighter than you're accustomed to, but a lot of people can, if your partner is making, 75, 100,000, or you could, and you live in a moderately reasonably priced area, you could make it off of one salary. You're just accustomed to living a certain lifestyle and, want more money.
Okay. Okay. Well, we are getting ready to drop the link.
Mm-hmm.
This should be fun.
Let's do it. Let's open it up. I see a lot of interesting comments and they're moving so fast, and I'm trying to keep up with our conversation in addition to kind of responding to the comments in the chat. But I see a lot of good comments in the chat. So hopefully some of y'all will go ahead and take the link and come up and chat with us.
Yeah, honey. Because it kind of cracked me up. I said, well, Ooh.
Jack, I didn't say that. I'm saying that in this day and age, a kid is going to want more than $20 to cut all the grass that we have. But regardless, if he pays somebody, that's his business. But as long as it gets done, that's the same thing. If I decided to pay someone to meal prep for us, as long as we have meals for the week, I'm still handling my portion of the responsibilities. And
Oh,
I don't
wait.
blame women for. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Curlin came up here to save me. Thank you, babe. Hey, man.
Hey, Curlin. I just want to say this really quick. That's another thing because, like I said, I'm judging slightly, but in this day and age, really and truly, I don't think that there's a lot of excuses that women can employ for just negating their domestic responsibilities. Just like I don't think there are excuses that men can employ because even if you don't have time, you can always do like Hello Fresh. You could pay someone to meal prep. You could have Mary Maids come in once a week. There are a ton of different resources and things that you can do. Planning is a lot easier. You have apps on your phone and reminders on your phone. You can, Uber the kids to like if you have teenagers or something, Uber the kids to practice instead of, running 30, 45 minutes out the way. Well, I feel like we have more resources than our grandparents and great grandparents had. And, yet we still complain about not being able to get as much done as they seem to be able to do at one point in time. But that's me, y'all. I'm old fashioned. I don't care about your comments. I know what I'm saying is not popular opinion. But Carlin, what you come up here to talk about? What's up?
Well, I'm not going to stay up here long. I'm just
Okay.
gonna lay out how I see it and how I operate. Because I know y'all only got 4 extra slots for people and shit, right? So the way I operate is like family and then my tribe. Family, if you're family, then I got you. You know what I'm saying? If you're part of my tribe, then there's levels to this shit. Say someone that I may consider to be close like a sibling that I know would go hard for me, I'm a return that energy. If they're in a bind, then I got them because I know that they would do the same in return. If it's just say a friend that may be in a certain situation, and it's unlikely that if I were in that situation, they would be able to do what they're asking for me. I will help out how I can. However, it's highly unlikely that there will be any kind of a monetary involvement in, um, at that particular level. A perfect example was like the chick that needed the car fix on the meme that y'all was talking about. Like, if that were me, I would help her. I would help her get around to where she needed to go to get her car fixed. But I'm not throwing any money down, not that early in their dealings. You see what I'm saying? Now, if it had been a couple of years,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and you the two of you had advanced to a certain level, and it was just the two of y'all rocking, then it would be a non-issue because I probably could fix it myself anyway. You see what I'm
That's a
saying?
good point, Curlin, because
Right.
a lot of women do come to the table having not invested a lot of time. And even these means, like you've only invested a few weeks into the relationship, but you expect this man to, help you get your car fixed, help send your kids on their field trip. Like, I mean, like once you invest time, money, energy, and whatever else into a relationship, I think that, what you two are willing to do for one another should change. But like, I mean, there's levels. You can't through the gate expect this man to be dropping bread on you because you've slept with him.
Right. The way I see it is like randos on the street. Nah, I'm gonna be courteous, and that's about it. But if I rock with you, and you part of my squad, then I got your back.
Good point.
That's about it. Y'all can drop me down now, so y'all can have this slot.
Thanks for coming up, Curlin. That's good info. I agree with you too.
All right. Later,
All right,
lady.
peace, Curlin. Good afternoon, everyone.
It's good,
Hey,
Complex.
Hey, the question is very provocative. Has vagina been defeated? Is that the question? Has it been defeated?
Yes.
Okay. Allow me to give my take on that. It was never in play. It was never competition. It's nothing to be defeated. Yeah. I mean, you have every woman has one. right? They're bountiful, they're plentiful, they're all over the place. I'm just trying to put this in its proper perspective here, because there was a comment that you made, Sister George, that I thought was pretty interesting. You said something to the effect of like, well, all men all men are swayed by the power of the VJ, the JJ.
Yes.
And
yes.
this is so not true.
It hasn't happened
Okay,
to most
no. What I'm saying is it's not. That's not. Look, depending upon what drives a man, okay, that'll determine. That's largely going to determine like how he operates or how he moves, right? That's not to say that like I'm not human, so I have urges like other men. However, I'm not like I'm not driven by it. I'm driven by other things. Now, when urges happen, if I have a partner available, then things will happen, right? But I'm not driven by that, and I think women will erroneously categorize all men as just, as ultimately being sex driven. And it's like, no, sex is a part of life. However, one's life may have a grander purpose, and that's actually what drives them. So you should be very careful in assigning those types of attributes to all men. That's totally not the case.
I kind of look at it like this. If I'm not one of those people, like when they talk about all Black women in this space, and I'd be like, well, damn, I'm not like that. And Concrete says, you know what? I'm not like that either. And we just kind of sit there and we listen, and I just don't jump out in front of the bullets and stuff. So I just say, oh, okay, that's what they think. Cool. And I move on. Oh, baby.
Yeah, well, sometimes those types of things aren't exactly accurate.
That's true. I don't always think, what a lot of guys say in this space is exactly accurate, but what can you do?
Well, I mean, no, then we return to the question, right? Has vagina been defeated? Well, what the hell have you been using it for?
What have women been using vaginas for?
Yeah, I mean, because you asked the question, right? So then in my mind, I have to say, okay, well, if women are feeling as though their vagina has suffered at the hands of defeat, what was the challenge? What did they exactly just lose to?
What I'm saying is, I can't stop laughing. I knew this was like I was so on the fence with it, but I said, let's go. Because I wanted it to be a play on words to kind of grab some attention, so we'd all have a good conversation about like the social norms that men used to do are starting to become less of a thing. And I mean, like as simple as a man opening a door for you. And I think a lot of it has to do with feminism. And so it was a lot of stuff like that just kind of made me think like, and it was just really a play on words, not just the vagina out here getting.
I mean, I was taking it kind of like in a literal sense, like, right, like, okay, has vagina lost its sway or its influence? Like I was thinking maybe, are you taking it from that angle? Like, is is the juice worth the squeeze type of context? Sort of like that.
Yeah, I think it was more figurative, and it was just kind of like one of those attention grabbing titles.
Well, okay, well, no, that gives it some context, right? So I guess then, and I don't want to hog this here, but I just wanted to get clarity on it because I was like, okay, that's strange. Okay, so is the juice worth the squeeze? So are we saying that, like, okay, our dude's just kind of saying, it's just not worth it for the headache? Yeah, and all the bullshit that comes along with it. I mean, if a dude has like other shit that he's involved with or he's got going on, I mean, I was supposed that nowadays at this particular point in time, with all the options available, a dude could kind of take it or leave it. I guess maybe in a sense, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me add to this. Let me add to this real quick. I think
Epic. What it do, man?
what it do, man. Hey, listen, I think just by approaching it in that aspect, I already put vagina on the pedestal, saying can has vagina been defeated? As in like Complex said earlier, when it depends on who you was talking to, I guess. I was never in competition with vagina. See, I was taught at a young age that see, my daddy told me a woman's pussy is no more important than my dick. So a woman trying to bargain her pussy for anything provisional, far as help her pay her light bill, help her with her kids, or do anything. No, it's none of that. And first of
Oh,
all,
you
that's
ain't no pay the babysitter.
no, I'm not no pay the baby. First of all, women, especially black women nowadays, when they get with a man, y'all try to obligate men to your church. Come this, oh, I'm a whole package deal talk. So when I say, oh, you go screen package deal, but you don't hear
That's
men
true.
saying, but you don't hear men saying, okay, then, so I want you to pay my child support every other month. Then, since we screaming package deal, just because my children don't live with me, I'm not the primary care provider. Don't mean I don't have responsibilities, but women not go take on their responsibility legally to pay that man's child support. So
Good analogy.
yeah, so I'm just saying, just looking at that, I get what y'all saying, Sister Georgia Concrete, but no, that's men, that's simp talk to me. That's men putting women's pussy on the goddamn pedestal. Once a man started letting a woman bargain with her vagina, you just really became a simp. That's why a lot of women don't like the question of take vagina, take pussy out the equation. What do you bring to my table? Because a real man already go bring the table anyway. That's how red pill men think. Because most red pill men, I'm gonna speak for some red pill men anyway. We know 50-50 don't work. That's why we bring the table and most of the stuff on it. We just need our woman to arrange it. But the
Okay.
thing is, besides your
I
sex,
love that.
besides your sex, what we say, what we bring to the table, we're not talking about anything materialistic. That's what most women get that confused at. They think we talking about bring to the table something, your money. We don't care about your money. Real men of means, thinking black men, we already got. We already settled. We got our hustle. We don't need you for your money. What we want you for, not even need. What we want you for is a peace of mind. After we've been battling the earth all day, can we come home and get a piece? Is my food cooked? Is my house clean? And stuff. Don't get me wrong. I understand times change. It's 2020. So when you say traditional, you got to look at it in the 2020 aspect, like a lot of people do. It's some relationships becoming more of a partnership. So now, since it's becoming more of a partnership, marriage is becoming obsolete, and all this stuff started playing away in it. But most guys, especially simps, a lot of guys want to get married because they want in-house pussy. Because if they weigh up marriage, it's really no beneficial. That well, state sanctioned marriage anyway. It's not that beneficial for a man. So I just think just looking at it at that aspect, his vagina been defeated. It's already putting it on a pedestal, and I have never put vagina on the pedestal. I'm gonna let somebody else take the mic right now.
Well,
Ladies,
thank you,
what is this mess y'all trying to start today on this Sunday?
Don't
Jack. You know
blame
what
me.
you're trying to do.
Lord have mercy. And I just gotta say one thing with Epic when he said the penis has no value. Jim Brown hadn't scored a touchdown in 20 years, and the lady came out of the woodwork. The judge made him pay child support. So hey, that penis has a hell of a lot more value than the damn coochie. I'm gonna pass it over to Obsidian. Get what you got, bad boy.
Oh man.
Oh man is not there.
All right.
Going
So
once, going twice. Gone.
What? The old man ain't got nothing to say? Uh-oh.
he probably had gotten a little busy. But what's up, Jonathan Phillips?
Hello, how's it going? How's it going? My take on it is if men is expecting a woman to do 50-50, he shouldn't expect no respect. Because I don't think a woman's going to respect, I think the start of it, she's going to be like, okay, me and my man working 50-50. But after a while, she's going to be looking at him with that death stare. She can get tired of his ass. And if a man is solely expecting 50-50, and think he's gonna get full submission, full cooperation, I don't think he's gonna get it. I don't think no man can get it.
Well, it kind of runs juxtaposed to 50-50.
So you got to be the sole owner. You got to be the sole owner. You got to be the majority owner. when it comes to paying the bills, rent, all that. And
No,
if she doesn't
50-50 implies
cooperate,
50-50 and would imply though that it's a kind of like a shared equity type of thing, right? So we're half,
in a business
we're
sense,
half vested.
Exactly, because I don't expect no woman to take me serious if I say 50-50. Oh, I need you to split on the bills. Nah, if I can't be able to solely buy it 5 times over, then I'm fucking up. Period. And men need to focus on working on them first before getting out there. With any woman,
there's a lot of women who
black,
require
white,
50-50 though.
Hmm?
There's a lot of women who actually are requiring it 50-50. Like they're
then I don't want to be
they're requiring it too. I mean, no, what I'm saying is because when you hear men who take that position, I think it's a sign of how the shape of intergender relations are taking place right now. Because as it was touched on earlier, you do have women who are now in the workspace who are essentially head of households, right? So, as it was even stated by women, there's not much interest in them relinquishing that type of position. There's no interest in that. So this is where that kind of 50-50 comes into play. So, I think it would be a guy would be, he'd be acting in error to enter into a 50-50 type of arrangement, thinking that he's going to get like quote unquote submission, not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But in my, I get what you're saying, Complex, and I fully agree on that. But me personally, I got to be the top billing. I got to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the film. I got to be top billing.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I got to be headlining credits first, because it's really me as the captain of the ship, the captain of the plane.
Well,
I got to make sure, because if it's 50-50, she's not going to take a 50-50 responsibility if things go south, and she has has a say in execution, or when it needs an executive decision where the man needs to step up, make a clear decision for the betterment of the household. So no.
But when men say that,
I'm sorry.
I'll be really quick. When men say that, but what about, things aren't necessarily fluid. Like something could change at any point in time where you're, mostly or solely relying on her income. Like, what if things change in the relationship? Like, why is there so much emphasis on that? On you making more than your partner?
Because I feel like women don't respect the man that makes less. I've seen homies that went through some bullshit where their woman made 2 times as more, and the respect level dropped when she got the promotion. She felt like she was the big kahuna fish, which the man should always be the big kahuna fish regardless.
Well, on my
period. No negotiating, no exceptions, nothing. The man has to be the head. If the man ain't the head, the man need to get some bread before any type of head go down.
Well, yeah, my only problem with John's remarks is that, I know there's a lot of, there's this, how do I put this? There's an idea that goes something like this. Each one teach one. I'm sorry, I'm not anybody's dad. I already got my act together. And I like to be around brothers that already got their act together. So I understand where John is coming from, but for me, it's old hat. The issue for me is simply, now I do agree with him about this in relation to Danielle's question, and I want to frame this put this in the context of the current coronavirus pandemic. Is, okay, has vagina been defeated? Yes. Black men, as you heard Epic a few minutes ago, a lot of black women don't really either can't accept or refuse to appreciate the fact that feminism, in this case black, worked too good. It worked so well that black men like Epic will think the way that he does. There are millions of black men who think as he does. So black women's ability to leverage their sexuality in a traditional context has greatly diminished. But at one time, a black woman could leverage it. Today, and again, I cite Epic as emblematic of many of today's black men. I would argue that he is indicative of the extent to which a black woman's ability to leverage her sexuality in exchange for, goods and services from a man has greatly diminished. And that is especially true in times of crisis, such as we're in the midst of right now with the coronavirus. Black women are the least protected, least partnered group of women around. So they're by definition, they're the most vulnerable, as we saw 15 years ago with Hurricane Katrina. So yeah, I would say has the vagina been defeated in Black America? Absolutely. Look at the black marital rate, look at the divorce rate, look at the even the cohabit. We cohabit less than others.
But Obsidian, as a head of household, would the responsibility for protection lie upon you?
Yes, in a traditional context, but that's just it. Mm-hmm. Would black men like Epic, of which there are literally, look, black men like Epic have been brought up in the shadow of black feminism, whether we want to admit it or not. And this is especially true for black women. Whether they want to admit it or not, those guys were brought up in the shadow of the sisterhood. It's worked so well that they believe it. So when you have times of crisis like what we're facing right now, I mean, can you really expect these guys to go out and seize the parapet? Really?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Obsidian, shout out to the panel.
Yo, Edward, brother.
Oh yeah, my bad. You was on here first.
Yeah. I mean, we know you the juggernaut of words, man. Once you start, we can't. So I can't let you start, brother. Let me get in here real quick, brother.
No, you good.
Shout out to
hey, Mr. Fantastic. Hey, Edward.
What's going on with you? Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Yeah, man. Vagina has definitely been defeated, and like Obsidian said, it's defeated itself, man. The sisterhood, as you guys call it, I'm still looking for it, man. I done put on glasses, I done pulled out microscopes, I done pulled out magnifying glass, and I don't see it. One of the biggest enemies to a black woman's relationship with a man that she has is another black woman. Women don't respect. You can see that with the whole Aisha Curry fiasco that happened last year, and she was talking about how all these women, even though her husband is a clearly married man, they have no problem throwing themselves at his feet in front of her. To the point of where it drove her into a complex of where she had insecurities because she's not receiving the same type of attention from men, being that she's a married woman. But that's the difference between men and women. A man, even though for the most part he does respect a woman's marriage. All right, it's been plenty of times where in the past where, hey, I pulled up on a female, whatever was going on. I'm married. Oh, okay, I'm married. Hey, tell your husband he's a lucky guy. Have a nice day. Thank you for your time. I'm not gonna press the issue.
In public, they're more respectful. More respectful of relationships and marriages in public.
Well, no, I mean, the club, no matter what. I mean,
I really think overall, especially as it pertains to marriage, I think men have way more respect for marriages.
You know why?
Like a woman, like if a woman is married, a man will be like, "Oh, okay, you're married. I'm okay, cool."
You know why? You got her. You know the right answer to that question, though, right?
What?
A nigga might kill you. That nigga that you fucking with is the threat. Women don't have that same threat. Women don't have that same threat.
Fantastic.
A man might just kill you over that pussy if he done invested money in it, time, family, all these other things.
I never thought about that.
Energy.
Yeah, I mean, you better shit. I mean, I'm just like, niggas got shit to lose, man. So
the fact you haven't thought about that speaks volumes.
Yeah, but exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point, Edward. But that's a woman. Again, that's a woman's life and a woman's perspective versus a man's. So that.
But the man also.
Hold on.
Fantastic. Can I ask you a question right after you're done with your statement?
There's a lot of things you said too, bro. I'm gonna hop into that. I'm gonna address that too, bro. How old are you? Bro? You sound kind of young.
23.
Yeah, you are young. I figured so. And I guess you're not married, right?
No, but I
All
don't
right,
submit to women. I
All
got
right,
to be the
cool.
sole owner. Period.
All right, cool.
But
So let me give you some game here, young fella. A woman either she either respects you or she don't. Okay, I've heard black women on this in black YouTube spaces who say that they make more than their men and they still submit to their men and their men control their checks. Okay, so if a woman is going to submit to you, regardless of the amount of money you make, so on and so forth, she's going to submit to you. Let me double down.
well, yeah, I agree.
Hold up, let me double down and give you further proof of that. Because the one of the main people that we talk about is so easy to get women, or who? The Pookies and the Ray Rays. Pookie and the Ray Rays don't got nothing to offer other than dick in themselves. What happens every fucking tax time with Pookies and Ray Rays? The bitch that they fucking gives them. I'm sorry, my bad. This ain't my panel. I'm sorry. The woman that they're having intercourse with. I'm sorry. The woman they're having intercourse with.
Thank you.
Has no issues with turning over that tax return check for him to flip it or do whatever with it, or do whatever as he pleases. So your concept of, you know what I mean, oh, you got to be making more than the woman, bro, you're setting yourself up for failure, because you can be, let's say you're paying 80% of the bills and you get married and then 5 years later you get divorced. Now what did you just do? You just lost 90, you've been paying 90% for those 5 years, and she's going to take your ass to the cleaner for half, even after 5 years of marriage. So this is why I think brothers are initiating a sort of a defense mechanism and defense philosophy. And at least if we're going 50-50 at it for whatever degree in time, if shit don't work out and I have to end up paying on the back end anyway because I'm the man, at least I'm not losing as much money in the long duration as I would if I was doing this whole machismo, I pay all the bills, she ain't got to do nothing, her money is her money, my money is her money concept.
My only response to any of that.
I agree. But whoever said about marriage, I'm not even for marriage. I just don't feel comfortable women making no money. Period.
Can y'all hear?
I hear you. I don't know if
you can be able to get it. Their management is strong, so the money can be low, but the management and the principles is strong.
Jonathan, hold on.
Jonathan, can you hear Obsidian?
Jonathan, can you hear Obsidian?
So I'm not disagreeing with you, Fantastic.
I don't think he can hear nobody. Hello?
Yeah.
He had to drop it.
My only response to what Mr. Fantastic said is this. Again, keeping in mind the current situation worldwide. How effective is all of this in a time of crisis? How effective? I get the real sense that personal perspectives, history, and all notwithstanding, it's not very effective. It doesn't work very well. It's not very efficient. I mean,
what aspect, bro?
I beg your pardon?
What aspect of efficiency are you speaking to?
No, I'm saying the arrangements that you spoke to, John Phillips and so forth, Epic, in relation to Danielle's question. I'm saying in relation to the current coronavirus outbreak. I'm speaking in relation to events like a Hurricane Katrina, a September 11th, and so forth, where cooperation is essential, where clearly defined roles are essential. I don't get the sense that this works out very well.
Well, yeah, because like you said, feminism has destroyed that. Feminism and progressive and liberal thinking has destroyed the roles.
But here's the irony. Black men like yourself, black men like Epic. Now, I know this is going to sound strange. You might not like it, but you guys are feminists too.
Obsidian, once you wrap, we want to let Jonathan respond to Mr. Fantastic too, because he was responding to him.
And the reason why I say you guys are feminists too is because though you clearly disagree with where a lot of black women are coming from, at the end of the day, y'all both accept that black women are equals. For example, take the sexual piece. Epic is very clear that, you know, both participants, the black man and the black woman, are both getting mutual benefit and have equal value in the sexual exchange. That's a feminist point of view in terms of 50-50. That again is a feminist point of view. That is not a traditionalist point of view on either count.
Okay, say that one more time. Oh man, the what is the I'm just so I'm framing this correctly. Say that. Could you say that for me one more time?
I said both you and Epic have a feminist point of view because both you and Epic see black men and black women as completely equal. He sees it in a sexual sense. You see it in a financial sense.
Well, hold on. I don't see them as equals. How do I see them? Where did I say where did I state that I saw them as equals?
That shit don't make sense
your
at all.
50-50 comment. That's what he's talking about. Your 50-50.
You say what now? Well, no, that's I'm not. That's not me saying that they're equals. That means that again. I thought I hold up just so I can rephrase this or I can reiterate it to make sure that I'm being clear here. Just because I'm saying that a woman has to pay the same amount and that's a protection mechanism, that's not me saying that I feel like she's equal.
But it is though.
No, it's not. That's
but it is. 50-50 means equal, man.
Yeah, 50-50 means equal from a mathematical standpoint.
But that's meaning she has an equal investment. She has an equal investment.
And by extension, what else, Concrete Rose? What else does she have?
Equal interest.
And what else?
Equal ownership.
Equal.
Oh yeah.
No, she
that's
doesn't.
That's bullshit. But go ahead, because I want to jump in on this.
Yeah, before you go, Eric, let me say this again. So again, I'm going to say what I said again, just to be clear. Just because I said that, yeah, you can have equal investment in something, don't mean that you have equal influence or equal leadership on something. Okay, all right.
Clearly, you've never been in business,
huh?
Clearly, you've never been in business.
Well, I've been in a business over 10 years. Marriage is a business.
No. I mean commerce.
Well, no, but yeah, go ahead.
So I've been in commerce, and I can tell you, that's not how it works with partners. You could be a silent partner. That's true. You can have minority controlling interest. That's true. But trust me, you get 50% or more, you calling shots.
And no, I've just disproven that. Again, there are black women here, and oh man, you are the proponent that talks about and made the crusade against the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Pookies and Ray Rays are the fucking irrefutable fucking proof that does not mean that women have no problem submitting to a man that makes absolutely no money, that's contributing nothing. A woman was willing to bring a man, a homosexual, into her home, take care of him, and that man will have control, not just over her, over the household, over the children that's not even his, over the finances, over the everything.
I've never argued.
So that's what I'm saying. Well, it's not. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. If you're not going to argue that's my proof to refute what you're saying. To my point.
I've never made the argument that you're laying out. I've never. I'm
not saying you made the argument. Oh, wait, whoa, you definitely have made that argument. Well, hold on, you definitely made the argument about the Pookies.
I've never made the argument that you, as you described it. I've never made the argument that layabouts are calling shots in the house. No, actually, it's the other way around. Don't Blame It on Rio talks about this. That book it talks about this exact same point. A lot of black women want to be able to call shots, and they get with incompetent men in order to facilitate that.
No, okay. Oh man, when I said a woman giving you sex, when I told you my dad had taught me growing up, a woman giving you some pussy is no more important than your dick. What I'm saying is, he was basically telling me, don't let a woman act like you owe her something just because she gave you some sex. This was all up in this statement. That's
exactly
it, man. That's the only context
so
I was
she's overvaluing her self.
Yes, that's basically all I was saying. I would not say women and men are equal. I don't believe in that. If I believe men and women are equal, I would be the one saying, no, it's 50-50 in the household. You're going to be paying half of the bills too. And that's why I'm more traditional when it comes to that. And that's why I bring the table and everything else that's on the table already, because I'm the man. I run things. I run 100%.
But biology says that the sexual exchange is not equal. That's biology. That's science.
What are you talking about? The biology? Where?
Yeah.
Like, explain what you're talking about. I don't need no sources.
I think he's
what
speaking
are
to
you
the risk.
talking about?
He's speaking to the risk of pregnancy or so on and so forth. I'm guessing.
Not only that, that's true, but not
The
only
work involved.
Not only
Well,
that,
biology don't speak to abortion, but go ahead.
Well, abortions have always been with humanity.
Well, you can't. Oh, you need technology to do that.
No, you don't.
Even if it's a fucking hanger, you can. Women don't have the capability to abort children without doing something external.
Women have been using abortifacients for thousands of years.
Abort a what?
Abortifacient.
What's that? Don't say look it up.
I feel better because as a man, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So yeah.
But,
natural methods to abort.
Well, the women have always been taking various methods reaching back centuries, if not thousands of years, to abort unwanted pregnancies. My point is that in the economics of reproduction, eggs are expensive and sperm is cheap.
We're talking about the play. What Epic? I didn't even hear what Epic was saying, and I understand what he was saying. He was talking about the pleasurable experience. We're not talking about the risk factors as far as how children are made. When you fuck a bitch or a lady,
Thank you.
Value sex equally that men value sex. This is actually one of the things that's been underguarded. In fact, women probably value the pleasures of sex if you actually open them up a lot more than what dudes do. And when I say that is men can walk away from sex. I'll say this. The difference is females actually value the emotional impact too. And that's where men kind of diverge. So women, this is why I keep saying women need men more than men need women. Because if women are separated from men, that emotionally affects them a lot more than when men are separated from women at any given period of time. This is where all the psychological issues come from. So from a pleasurable standpoint, yes, it's 50-50. You're going into some other shit that folks were never talking about.
No, I'm talking about biology, which is something that most people don't know about.
Well, we're talking about the pleasure.
I'm talking about biology. Where does the pleasure come from? Pleasure comes from your brain. That's a chemical.
Fantastic and Epic. Do you all know what I'm talking about when I say that? Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, I guess. I know
But do you know what I'm talking about?
But that's what that's what we're trying to get to understand. So we covered the pregnancy piece. We covered you're saying the rarity of eggs and compared to the plentifulness of sperm. Okay, but at the same level, I could still make the same counter to that, and being that not all eggs are fertile. And a lot of women can't it's far more men that can produce children than women that can bear children.
And what's the scientific basis of this?
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
This is how you kill conversation. But go ahead.
Hold on. No. What do you mean?
I mean, is there any scientific evidence for this?
Yes, it's plenty. I mean, you can just look at it. You can look at this as far as women that are able to carry children and women that were never able to have children in comparison to the men that make children. The fact of the matter, again, that I can look at one man who's able to impregnate 30 women in a city versus the woman that can never have one child in her entire life.
Yeah, but you guys
evidence. I cite you
to make. But the favorite argument that you guys like to make that, there are far more black women that have children than black men is kind of contradicts what you're saying.
The argument was never about risk. That's not an argument. Nobody never said it was 50-50 risk. He said it was 50-50 pleasure. And that's why as modern people, for the most part, why we have casual sex. Well, all this other biology shit went completely into some other bullshit.
I'm glad you bring that up, Ed. So tell me, what is the role of an arrangement between a black man and a black woman predicated on casual sex at a time of Hurricane Katrina?
Okay, I'll answer your question.
Okay.
And it's a good question. Here's the thing. When society is running as it's supposed to be, you can get away with all this, not you, but I'm saying females can get away with all this bullshit, feminism and shit like that they're pushing. It's the same thing. I'll give you something simpler than Hurricane Katrina. What is the role of a black relationship when somebody breaks into your fucking house? All that shit goes out the fucking window. The problem and so when technology falls and shit fails, systems fail, then obviously we get back down to baseline to what we are. The problem is at that point, men have programming to the point where they're like, it ain't no women and children first. It's me first. And that's where I get where you're trying to come with the feminist. I get what you're trying to say with that. But at the same time, that doesn't necessarily make dudes feminists. That's just saying, as a patriarch, it's basically like this. The reason why men protect men and children is for two reasons. Number one, that's his lineage. And number two, they do it for compliance. If a woman does not give compliance, then technically the woman is supposed to be fucking removed, and the lineage, which is the child, is supposed to go to the dude anyway. This is how Muslims operate. And this is how the children are technically, in most patriarchal situations, the men's first, not the woman. So when a woman stops being compliant, she gets kicked the fuck off. But see, in America, in the Western world, they completely flip that shit to tie women with children. So therefore, to help the child is to help the woman. And that's where we get the bullshit that we get right now. Anyway, I'll speed it.
Well, let me jump in real quick. Yeah, I'm seeing where Obscene is coming from with the Katrina and natural disaster situation. Because if a woman had a fuck buddy, and the fuck buddy didn't come and at least try to help her out, the fuck buddy will get criticized after everything is said and done. Now, flip it the other way.
Why would he be criticized?
Yeah, criticized by who outside of her?
I'm trying to understand why you. Hang on. Let me phrase the question right here. Why would he?
Let me finish, man. Let me finish first. Can I? Thank you. Now flip it the other way. If that woman didn't come and try to check on her fuck buddy, nobody's going to tell her, hey, you've been with Chuck for 8-9 months. Why you didn't go and check on Chuck? But let Chuck had not checked on her during a situation like that, he would have been criticized by her people, and maybe criticized by his people. So that's what I'm saying. So I understand it's not 50-50, even in a fuck buddy situation, when you're looking at a situation like a Katrina or a natural disaster.
You do realize you're arguing from a feminist premise.
No.
Oh man, you killing me with the feminist claims, man.
Yeah, another thing to
that's a shame.
I'm not making a value judgment.
All I'm saying is, unfortunately, when a dude is dealing with a woman, it is not 50-50.
All right,
again, hold on. I'm really trying to wrap my head around this, old man. I don't think any man up here is saying that a woman is equal to a man. I'm not said that. That was not my intentions in any of my statements, or so on and so forth. All I'm simply saying is, in this traditionalist thing, man. Again, I know you're from the older generation, old man, so you may think that there's a possibility of it, but traditionalism is dead. Traditionalism is dead and will not be resurrected.
Well, that's the whole point of the discussion.
Yeah, all he's saying, hold
on, will not be resuscitated. So the rules have changed. So being that the rules have changed and the men understand that now, you being a traditionalist is pretty much being a simp or a sucker. Now you play the game to your advantage, so you at least get something out of it.
And that doesn't make you a feminist. That doesn't make you a feminist. It's based on you want to talk about contracts. When you have a contract, if you don't fulfill I call it social contracts. When you don't fulfill your role as a social contract, at that point, a dude is able to be what is called a free agent. And that's how these dudes are operating. They will protect and provide if a woman operates in her fucking place.
Okay. So with that being said, you got a coronavirus pandemic. You had Hurricane Katrina. What does this look like for a black community?
The community's fucked, period. And here's the problem. Because nobody gave a fuck about the community.
How is the black community more at risk than any other community during this?
Because other communities have social contracts. They can pool up as community. Yeah, the black
each other, provide for each other. Do those things. Step in. Have networks.
Yeah,
and things.
Black people are on the pay as you go contract. So all these chicks,
exactly.
Unless all these
I
chicks
understand
like
because I see lots of people
Show up
complaining
as I
about not
need.
having child care because their
Show up as
kids
I
are going to
need
be
you.
out of school.
Black people have the GoFundMe insurance versus the actual motherfucking insurance. All right.
And that shaming thing that what's it called was talking about, yeah, that shit don't mean shit no more. Because at the end of the day, dude, like a dude that has no shame, which is the dude that is homosexual and living with the dude, he knows all he got to do is weather that storm. Because at the end of the day, men have zero capability to influence other men when it comes to dealing with a female. If a female is letting him live up and doing what the fuck he do, that dude can say anything he want to do. That dude is looking at one thing. Is this chick gonna give me some pussy once they done hollering and cackling? If the answer is yes, he gonna be like, I don't give a fuck about what you say. And this is also what women don't understand. Women don't understand that traditionally the way that men control in patriarch society, the way you control men is by controlling their access to vagina. And the only way you can really control that access is by controlling what the women can do and cannot do. If you give women the permission to select who they want to select, they are going to say, fuck that other shit you say is important. Getting this pussy beat up is what is important. So all the shit Obsidian talk about Hurricane Katrina, coronavirus, that shit never enters in their mind because quite frankly, women don't think long term like that anyway. So
do you think that the black community and black women expect that the government will give them some sort of bailout or come to their aid in some way?
That too, because why not? They always have for the last at least 30 years. And also, even still then, black women have at the end of the day, this shit is complete. Black women won. Black women won. They had hold on, I'm gonna say this and I'm done. They had black men damn me on autopilot doing the stepdaddy thing. On autopilot. The millennials completely fucked that shit up. Women y'all all had damn near insurance policy that the kid would know the dude that was their real dad and call the stepdad by his first name, but because that's his house, he had that respect. And even the stepdad and the real father was even in communication. Corey Holcomb talks about that.
Let me just say something real quick. Because Donald Trump already proposed to do a bailout, because according to economists and everybody else, the economy is about to freeze for a minute.
Right.
And he's already proposed a bailout, and he said it's something about it's going to be unprecedented. So that's all I had.
I saw he was talking about that, but I think that there are still going to be some things that won't be covered, like childcare. I see people concerned about whether their kids are going to eat while they're out of school, which some schools are banding together, and I see some personal people and people with community organizations banding together to feed the kids. But how in this day and age are we not prepared to feed our children in the event of something happening?
Let me hop in. Hold on, Edward. You come on, brother. Come on. Yeah, I know. Let me get it. Listen, Concrete Roads again, especially in the black community. What it's unprecedented, man. And again, I know it's more white people in the country, so I'm not talking about the total number, but I'm talking about the rate. Okay, you have a lesser amount of people, I think, because black people, well, not black people, but niggas are horrible at math. They don't understand the importance of rate over the actual complete numbers. And when you have higher rates with lower amounts, that means you have a greater amount of your people affected. When we look into this, even with your summer programs and things like this, where you have many of these kids who cannot eat, and there's been studies,
that's insane,
showing the effect of hunger and a child's attention span and a child's ability to learn under those horrible situations. It's crazy. So, like you say now, I don't really want to get into it and put the conspiracy theory hat on, man. But this is gonna be a hard test for just modern society and people but especially the black community. A lot of things are about to get exposed in these 14 days, people.
I'd like to point out that Obsidian just changed the conversation to the coronavirus and Hurricane Katrina and disaster with the black community. Obsidian doesn't give a fuck about the black community. So when did this all of a sudden become important to him?
He's just pointing out how screwed up the black community is. That's it. He likes to do that.
Yeah, that's his stick, man. That's nothing new.
Okay, well, again,
do we all agree that it is screwed up?
Oh, no, that's not a doubt. I don't think
I agree with that, and I'm super conscious. So yeah.
Okay, and what solution do you offer, Obsidian?
What solution do I offer to it?
What's it? You want to point out the issues with the Black community. What solution do you offer?
I offer that Black women reject Black feminism and submit to a good Black man. That's
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish up, Obsidian.
My solution is that Black women utterly reject and repudiate Black feminism and all of its ancillaries and subsidiaries, and Black women there too, and submit to and find, identify, and then submit to good, competent Black men. That is my solution.
Okay, and Tedros, what do you think? Tedros, what do you think about the topic? Because y'all come on here and y'all take. I got you though. That's good. What do you think about the topic?
Well, Danielle, I've been listening, and Obsidian's the one who derailed this conversation. Y'all was talking about has vagina been defeated, and all of a sudden we talking about Hurricane Katrina and coronavirus.
Well, do you know why he made reference to that?
No, he didn't have no reason. He over here talking about biology and
okay. Well, hey, put us back on track, then, brother Amtrak.
I shall.
Conductor, put us back on track, brother.
I shall. Here we go. So I argue that vagina has not been defeated. As evidence by all you gotta do is go on IG, look at all these IG thoughts. They got millions of followers and lots of thirsty dudes licking up their ass. And then a lot of aspects of this red pill movement, focus on complaining about women. Okay, so look,
who taught and talk? Somebody's borging out, so I'm not borging. So let me get this real quick.
Has it decreased?
That's you, Concrete Rose. Has what decreased?
He said that he doesn't think that it's been defeated. I was asking, has it decreased in value?
Bro, hold on. Again, bro, I don't know what this dude's talking about. Men been looking at naked women's bodies since the beginning of time. Okay, the numbers of a guys that wants to look at a halfway naked woman's body. Tedros, I guess that's how they say your name is. Do you know what's the number one form of media in the world, Tedros?
I'm assuming you're gonna say porn.
Yeah, not assuming. That's the answer. The answer is porn. Okay, men and women alike like watching people have sex, but men like it a whole lot more than women do. So using Instagram thoughts, even though you're trying to champion women, I don't understand how you're gonna use the word thought, but hey, it is what it is. As your argument is weak as fuck, bro. You gotta come better than that.
All right, Mr. Fantastic. All right, that's nonsense because it's not just looking at the thoughts. They be spending money on these thoughts. So let's not pretend it's just.
Wait. Does every man not spend money on a woman he wants to penetrate?
Well, you just brought up earlier that these pookies don't have to spend no money on them. So I don't know. You going back and forth with this?
Well, it's not going back and forth on anything. That's still not the majority.
You just said pookie.
Pookies are pookies the majority of men?
Mr. Fantastic, I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Yes, you do know. Are niggas?
Fantastic.
Hold on, brother. Are dudes that are criminals, lowly, unemployed, pieces of shit, the majority of black men? Is that your claim?
Every pookie is not a criminal.
No. Again,
pookie is not a criminal.
Low level Negroes, okay, even not criminals. Do low level Negroes outweigh with Negroes that have something to do about themselves? Is that your?
It is very that archetype of man is very prevalent in black society.
All right, so I asked you. Were they the majority?
Fantastic. There's no way for me to quantify that.
There's a very easy way to quantify that.
No. Well, it's subjective, so
So I have a question for him.
You know the answer to this, bro. You losing.
There are no polls taken, and someone is sitting down saying, checking the box. I'm a pookie. I'm an educated lame. Nobody's doing that. You're
losing, bro. You're losing.
Fantastic. Provide the data.
Out of all the men, period, no matter the race, the majority of men aren't fucking losers that are not having some type of way, even if he's buying a fucking 4 for $4 from Wendy's to do something to get some ass, bro.
Fantastic.
Stop playing.
Fantastic. Look, black men compared to other demographics in the U.S. got the most baby mamas running around. Okay, so the point is, it's more prevalent in
That,
black society.
hey, hold on. That's a goddamn lie. Single
Edward, no,
motherhood
it's
with
not.
white
No, it's
women
not.
are
Mathematically
50%.
impossibility. Unless
No,
you're
it's
talking about
not.
rate. Are you saying the rate? You saying the rate?
Yes, the
Yeah,
rate. The rate is the
No,
rate.
because we,
Yeah,
dude.
by the rate.
Oh, now I
The rate.
know you don't know what the
We
fuck
got
you talking
baby
about.
mamas galore. Baby mamas galore. When's the last time you heard Pete Chang got 3 baby
Hey,
mamas?
hey,
You
I
never
got, hey,
heard.
dude. I got a question. What's the percentage of black men that are having all these baby mamas out of? Because if baby mamas, it means they're out of wedlock. Give me a general percentage. Because 53% of black men are childless. So give me a general percentage.
Edward, look, y'all love bringing this up. Listen,
I'm asking you
I
a simple
acknowledge.
question.
Wait,
They
Edward,
favorite stat.
hold up. We love bringing this up. Okay, listen, there are more women who got kids than men. I acknowledge that. Okay, and that's a set of problems with black women of themselves that we could have a whole nother conversation.
33% of black men are married too. Keep that in mind.
Edward,
So
compared to other groups of men, okay?
No, fuck. That's not what we're. I get that, but I just want you to understand that you're essentially talking about 20% of black men, which goes to what Fantastic was talking about as far as the minority. And now, hold on, I
You're
got to compare to
conflating
other
those
groups.
statistics. You can't say that it's only 20% of
Hold
black
on,
men.
because with these niggas,
Come on,
the thing
Edward.
about these niggas is they do a lot of
Women
do a lot of man sharing versus with white men. Not only by count is that like not even a question because it's more obviously majority, but white single motherhood is at 50% now and rising. And most of the time, it ain't a whole bunch of white boys that are just having kid after kid after kid after kid. So it's more of the ratios are a lot smaller. So even by rate, it's actually more with white men. It just doesn't get promoted. Also, flipping the thing, what you talk about with the manosphere talking about bitches. Nigga, the manosphere is not even 2% the size of the female sphere talking about what men they can't get. In fact, that shit is not only in the what I call mainstream social media, like Madame Noir, Blavity, all that bullshit. It's actually on mainstream media, aka the Oprah Winfrey Network and all of that. You don't see men in mainstream media talk about what they can get. It's a fucking multi-billion-dollar business. Women talk about what the fuck they can get. Go ask Derek Jackson about that.
So the red pill is very is a microcosm of what
it is extremely
the totality
small.
of men. So MGTOW and all that is not prevalent. You ain't never heard MGTOW on TV on mainstream.
What I'm telling
media.
you is a lot of dudes. You got a lot of dudes that operate this way on their own. But as far as YouTube, man, this shit is a pocket of a pocket of a pocket. And I've always said that when motherfuckers try to act like SYSBM is changing. No, black female fuckery has been the main thing. If SYSBM died tomorrow, black female fuckery is the biggest advertisement for black men doing what they do, not on YouTube. That's what black women don't understand. It has nothing to do with SYSBM. It's what dudes are saying, and they don't need to be on YouTube to see that. I can show you proof of that.
All right, Phil, let me jump back.
All right, well, we can agree to disagree. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Appreciate the discussion.
Thank you, Tedros. You always come up with a dissenting opinion. I agree with a lot of what you
Talk
were
to
saying.
BGS or somebody. I don't know.
I appreciate
no. BGS is delusional. Obsidian is delusional.
Sergeant Willie Pete.
Willie
like,
Pete is delusional.
Oh, well, nigga, then you actually the one that's delusional. Then that's the problem. You're delusional.
Hey, brother.
All right. Hold
I just want to say this. Everybody is crazy.
Let me get my 2 minutes in, please. Let me get my 2 minutes.
Hey, hold on, before you say that, old fella, another geriatric gentleman. Hey, brother, you said I was lame.
Yeah, I said you was lame. Trying to call that young man because he's 23, bro. You still in your damn 30s. But let me get to my point.
He always calling somebody old or young.
Let me get to my point. Only thing Obsidian was doing, he was just doing a risk assessment to the topic, which is, has vagina finally been defeated? And basically, I thought we was trying to cover what was the short and long-term advantages and disadvantage for both males, females, and if you want to include children also, the risk assessment of the has vagina finally been defeated? What comes after this? For both sides, or if you want to throw children in there, all three sides. So yes, that is what Obsidian was trying to get at, and that's what I was trying to get at also. But that's my 2 minutes. You can rotate me out. Next.
Thanks, Jack. Hey, Roger.
I'm rolling your wheel.
Yeah, you know, before, yeah, he left before that old nigga shit. I'm gonna say something. The difference. I respect my elders for the most part. Vote on Roger, but the difference between what a lot of old niggas do, and I'll even take Obsidian, I'll even take you out of this because you actually don't do this, is they'll sit there and they'll say, I'm older, so therefore, no matter, they do what black women do, where I got a degree, it's something that has nothing to do with what we talking about, so therefore, you need to bow down and listen to what the fuck I say, even if it don't make sense. That's what a lot of older dudes do. At least what Fantastic
age supposed to equal wisdom.
But no. Well, hold on. Concrete Rose. I clearly qualify myself. I asked him his age. I said he sound young. He told me his age. He does sound young. Would anybody that's 23 years of age be a master or an expert on relationship advice? Would you accept a relationship advice from a 23-year-old? Would you?
No, but you know what, Mr. Fantastic, but you're always talking about somebody's age. I think
that's true, Concrete.
Or whatever.
I give it both ways.
But think about it. But think about it. He also said, this is what Jack didn't catch. He said, not Jack. The dude said that BGS was fucking delusional. I gave him another dude, Sergeant Willie Peters, my age, been in this game for 10 years. So he basically, all the old niggas, he said, fuck them. So he don't even respect these motherfuckers. But you caping. Don't cape for somebody that will probably talk shit about you the next day. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. Now, if he demonstrated he knew some shit, then he would have got some respect. But the shit he said pretty much validated what Fantastic said.
Yeah. Like the dude just made again, man. It is what it is. But hey, whenever he want to get some debating lessons and some whatever, he's welcome to come through the channel. Hold on, let me address this. O'Shea Lennox, another geriatric gentleman that just always finds a way to say something to me, bro. Stop it, man. I had to teach you how to.
O'Shea ain't even that old.
I had to teach you how to talk. I had to teach this dude how to talk, man. Come on now, stop.
He's been reincarnated like 5 times.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here. I'm a Methuselah ass dude. But yeah, man. Back to the point. Listen, this whole thing about vagina being defeated, man. Black vaginas has been defeated. All right, for a while. And this right here, like I said, Concrete Rose said it. She agreed to the point. This is going to be like a stress test or something for us to see. And let's not forget, like Obsidian, shout out to Obsidian. He always brings up what's coming up this year, people. The census. That census coupled with this whole thing right here, man, is going to be a litmus test for fucking the black community and the state of it.
Black people do not fill out that census paperwork. Y'all got to stop playing. Y'all know black people don't fill out that census paperwork.
That's what I'm telling you. Even from Concrete Rose, that actually helps your point, though. Listen to what I'm telling you. When these people don't feel it out, and you still have the higher numbers of poverty and the higher numbers of single mother homes, what is that actually telling you?
Yeah, because the ones that do fill it out, they're not going to be honest. You don't tell the government what you got.
That's a poor mindset.
Yeah, that's how black people know. Even black people that have something look like that because there's a mistrust for the government.
I ain't never lied on no damn
until it's time to ask for welfare. But go ahead.
Even when it's time to ask for welfare, you lie. You say you don't have. They ask, whatever they asking you, do you have? You say you don't have.
Y'all trust the government enough to call the police?
Go ahead, Roger. Report. My bad.
Man. When it comes down to it, those who count are in authority over those who didn't count. You don't have to agree with the numbers, but if you didn't count, then you got to accept the numbers of the people who did count. You're never going to be an authority to the person who actually counted. So you can feel what you want to feel about numbers, but the people who counted are the authority, point blank, period. That's for anything, including the census. Now, when it comes to the topic, at the end of the day, has a vagina been defeated? Yeah, because women start destroying the value of it because they start to. It's not just.
Hold on, Concrete Rose. I got a question.
It's not.
My bad, Roger.
Yes.
Concrete
No,
Rose.
it's all good, but it ain't just because they're bad people. That's not the only reason they got
What it is,
destroyed.
I already know what it is with Roger with Concrete. I don't think Concrete expected you to. She expect me to say some stupid shit like that. I remember when you said that, she was like, "What the fuck?" She didn't expect Roger to say some shit like that. But go ahead.
The price dropped on the vagina too, right?
What do you mean it dropped?
It went below $40, man. It ain't even.
Oh no, it didn't. Get out of here.
Really? Really?
No, it did not go below $40. Y'all can at least get a damn girl $40. Give it a damn
below $40.
It has gone below $40 in a lot of cases. Now,
if it has, then it's coming with some coronavirus.
No, and you know why? Because you know why? Because a lot of females,
What
a lot of
never had
females,
the flu? Concrete Rose,
a lot of
Super Bowl.
a lot of females. You gotta think about it. And we're not even talking about we're not even talking about the gates going down with other races, because you know black women say, "Oh, we ain't going below $40," but that white bitch would go below $40.
Hold on, Edward. Let's let Roger get in here and finish his comment.
Roger.
But yes, black women are bad people, and that's part of the reason that it went down.
My God.
But that's not the only reason. No, it's not the only reason it went down. One of the reasons it went down because you had a lot of sisters who gravitated toward feminism, and they taught their sons about equality. Now you have a lot of younger guys who look at women in an equal setting. I just talked to a 27-year-old not 2 days ago, and he was telling me his whole concept about dealing with women when it comes to money. And at the end of the day, every time a woman asks him for money, he says he can't give it to you because he respects you too much. When they try to get something out of him, he gives him this whole thing about he gives him this whole thing about this.
And this is exactly what I was
real talk. This 2 days ago.
Roger is only saying what I just said a few minutes ago. He's right. Listen, black women have to accept. Black women have to accept. We now have millennials, Gen Z right behind them. So you're looking at black folks born after 1980, right? 1981 on forward. So you're looking at black folks now, damn near 40, ranging all the way down into the early 20s. This is the black men that the black women, their counterparts, will have to deal with. And again, bringing up a time of crisis. What is that? You know, I don't know if anybody remembers years ago, there was everybody knows about the Titanic. So you can look this up online. It was ironically enough, Italy, right? So there was a cruise ship. I think it's called the Concordia.
The Costa Concordia. That shit they flipped to the side. Yeah, I know all about that.
And that situation was a similar Titanic type thing. The men knocked the women aside and got the hell off the boat.
Yo, Obsidian, the captain, the Coast Guard the Coast Guard, the captain got off the boat like he was one of the first ones off the fucking boat. And the Coast Guard, I can send y'all the link because there's a 17-minute documentary on it, and they show what the Coast Guard was saying to the captain. The captain was basically saying, "Nigga, I'm conducting this rescue from land. I don't need to be on the fucking boat. The boat is literally flipped to the side on some Poseidon shit."
It was
because they ran. Go ahead.
It was a French cruise ship, right?
Yeah, this is in 2012 that this happened. Now, by the way, they put that motherfucker in jail for like 16 years. But they ran the ship aground, and then it flipped to the side, and they couldn't get all the lifeboats because it flipped to the side, and it did it but it's still on land, but it's halfway in the water, and motherfuckers on the side of the ship. And he's like, "You gonna go set that rescue up?" And he's like, "No, I can do this from land." "Are you refusing an order?" "No, I'm just gonna do it from land." It was funny.
Yeah. And jail does beat death at the end of the day. But as I was trying to say, that when it comes down to it, yes, the fact that black women aren't good people did lower their value when it comes to their womb. Plus the fact that black women don't see fatherhood as an important asset also has lowered their value. Plus you taught a lot of because they came out of these single mother homes, they don't view women in the traditional sense. You see what I'm saying? With me, I understand men are supposed to lead, protect, and provide. Women are supposed to give the loyalty, the good character, and the good company. talk to a like I was saying, the 27-year-old and the guys younger than him. They have no training on that at all because their mothers didn't teach them that. Their mothers taught them about equality, and every time there's something to be paid for, they're looking for a woman to be an equal, and they're coming from a place of respect. They respect the fact that you can do for yourself.
That's interesting because I've
Roger
heard
makes
a lot
really
of
good
women
point.
tell their children, I mean their sons, don't let no woman use you. Don't, they warn the men not to,
That's not. It's a little bit
That's not what I'm
different.
talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a place of respect, meaning the boy, when he was a boy, he was taught when he comes as a man to respect a woman for being just as much of a person as he is. Therefore, she can do for herself, and she can help with everything else that he has to do.
This is the thing that I'm getting at here. To answer the question, has vagina finally been defeated? The answer is obviously, I mean, take a look at the black community. The answer is obvious.
Hey, yo,
right. And I understand
question.
And black women have, and black
who
women
is saying I'm strong and independent and I don't need no man or a black girl man?
I understand that, and I wasn't saying that you were making that point, Roger. I was saying, a side note, I've seen women also tell their sons what not to do for women, so they are complicit in creating this situation where, quote unquote, it's being defeated.
Yes, and what I'm saying, concrete, is that this is the unintended. Black America is living out the unintended consequences, the excesses, the perversions, if you will, the hidden costs of feminism. It's playing itself out in real time, and people could die behind it. Just like it happened 15 years ago with Hurricane Katrina.
Hold on there, bro. Hold on, real quick. Let me say this before you hop in there, Tedros. Listen, and Concrete Rose, that goes back to what I said and told you earlier. The sisterhood is its own worst enemy because women do not fully understand what their own interests are. And shout out to Roger report for what he just said, man. Another great example of that of men seeing women as equals and like what I'm saying, it's pretty much being fair game is the incident that happened in New York where those 15 boys stomped out that one girl and stole her shit. See, ain't no more where even with us, you told, hey, you don't hit girls, don't hit girls, just walk away or whatever these other things, because that's what your fathers taught you, and even your mothers to a degree. But because you have all these gynocentric boys being raised by these women, well, hey, if she hit you, you hit her. If she man enough to motherfucking act like a man, and that's what black women love to do anyway, she can get dealt with like a man, and like a man also. So you get a generation of boys that have been raised that way. Now what? Like Obsidian says, your chickens are really gonna come home to roost, because now you're gonna get an increase in DV and a lot of other things, and a lack of respect for the
wow, that's a very interesting point.
Yeah, but women don't think long term, so they don't think like that. And this is why, if you notice, when we have these conversations, it's always like, what are the men doing or what are the women not doing? It's only black men that really talk about what the fuck did the last generation not do of men, and how the fuck did this happen. You don't hear women really do that. Women
aren't even having these futuristic conversations.
The point is when women talk about there's not enough, let's say take an argument of there's not enough quote unquote good black men, which are black men that women value forever what you value them for, right? You don't ever hear the argument that these women, what the fuck did these women raise to where it's all these niggas that don't fit the criteria we won't predict. You never hear that argument brought up.
You never
will. But men will talk shit about what these niggas do. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying when women talk about there's not enough good men, when women talk about there's not enough good men, they always talk from a place of what they can get from a man. So the problem they're having is there are not enough suckers out here. That's what they mean by that. There's not enough suckers that I can run game on and get stuff out of, because women have taught their sons to not be the victim of the same things they did to the boy's father.
And I'm a hop off so somebody can rotate back in.
Minute, Edward. I absolutely agree with that, Roger. I think when women talk about there's not enough good men, most women want a person with good money management skills, but they don't want to be cheated on. And I hear a
That's
lot.
what they talking about. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
it.
Not money management. Not money management.
No. Men that aren't gonna cheat. Men that aren't gonna be monogamous.
Okay, so that's the price of getting bunker buster dick. If you wanna alpha male, then y'all need look. I gotta say this, and then I'm hopping off because I appreciate y'all putting up with my bullshit about cutting people off and shit like that. I hear complex ones get back in. Yeah, I don't agree with polygamy, but there was something that came on my Facebook feed that I had to laugh at because it was clever. They said that this country taught you that being gay is right, but polygamy is evil. And I laugh at that because when I actually look at the mating patterns that black women have, not without any criticism, and Irene Yvette even said this, it's very clear that women gotta be honest. If y'all want a nigga that nigga, 6 foot, boom, all that shit y'all want, y'all gonna have to share these motherfuckers. Like y'all gonna have to go 2 to 3. Even Jason Black.
The problem
Even Jason Black says it's better to be a side chick to a nigga that's got his shit together and is that dude than it is to be the main chick of a motherfucker that ain't producing.
But you have men that don't produce like in high value who still cheat. And I think that's a lot of things that's not talked about in the community because it's all blamed on Pookies and Ray Rays and saying that
absolutely. Absolutely. But in any other culture that's accounted for. Like if any other culture, you can have as many women as economic value you can produce because you can take care of them. So real talk, Aisha Curry, for example, crying about not enough attention. Even if Stephen Curry was cheating, the reality is who is more economically valuable, Aisha Curry or Stephen? And so it doesn't make sense. And see, the issue with that is black women got an ego problem. Black women got a fucking ego. It's like, look, man, I don't give a fuck how fat your ass is. If I'm worth $10 million, you like one of like 1,000. Like it's that big. So to think that a dude that's like a millionaire or a millionaire deep, hell, I make the argument that a woman that makes $150,000 a year, that a man that makes 50 is technically on the sexual marketplace value, probably more valuable than her.
But
because
Pookie and Ray Ray ain't even faithful. You don't even have to have money.
You're right, but that's because black women accept that. Black women tolerate that because you all value the sexual currency over the economic currency. That's a choice you all make.
But let me bring this down to real scale because most people ain't balling out of control. At the end of the day, black women don't value money management. They value how much money you'll turn over.
Money management.
Wait a minute. So look, y'all are talking from a perspective of, okay, if a man makes a lot of money, then that's.
I'm not.
Let me finish my point. Y'all, because to me it sounds like you're talking about if the man makes a lot of money or he's a Pookie or a Ray Ray, that these are the only two types of men that cheat. And I actually, and I was watching an interview, I think it was on the Breakfast Club with Tariq Nasheed. He said 65% of men cheat. And so 65% of men, and I'm saying like all men, I think he was referring to all men. It's kind of like when you get to the manosphere, it's like the manosphere has their own set of numbers as it pertains to men doing bad shit. And then everybody else has a number of
children they can't take care of. They're producing women that they can't take care of. And that's what's creating this single motherhood bullshit. And also, them niggas that ain't got no money are these niggas because they have nothing to lose. This is where you get the 3 niggas, 16 women, 72 kid bullshit. So the impact, if you're a dude that's got money, you cheating has an economic cost in this country.
Hey, I've been trying to get a word in since I got here. Can I get a word in? Okay.
Well, look, Roger, look, Roger, you've been saying black
Wait, Roger was trying to say something.
They both unmuted.
Okay. Well, look at here. When it comes down to it, cheating is not as high as 65% because it's unnecessary, especially in the black community. Black women will sleep with a man that's sleeping with somebody else. Everybody knows that already. So cheating is not even necessary. When it comes down to it, most women aren't good enough to secure any man for themselves when it comes to the Black community because they haven't done it. Point blank, period. Feelings ain't got nothing to do with that. They just haven't done it, so it's not true. Now, when it comes to what people value, women value a man that will turn money over to her. Black women are after power. They're not after good men. When they say good men, they only mean suckers. Point blank, period. They don't care they don't care nothing about your net worth as long as you'll turn the money over to them. They don't care if you work at McDonald's or if you're working for a Fortune 500 company as a CEO. The only thing that matters to them is how much money are you going to turn over to me, because Black women they want to be the man of a Black relationship. Therefore, they're after power. Point blank, period.
Roger.
That's called an open wallet, not money management. But go ahead.
Exactly.
Roger.
Roger.
Agree
What's
with
up? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, look, Roger. I want Roger to
Black women speak to when they say they want a good man.
Oh, well, they bullshitting, but I agree that that's what they're speaking to. But they know there's bullshit when they say it, because I'm looking at men look at what you do. Y'all are looking at what y'all say. We're looking at what you do, and I don't see no money management niggas getting pussy.
Okay, that's nonsense. All right, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Get it. They get it. They just don't have a baby with the guy. They get it. They just don't have a baby with the chick. That's all.
Well, you get what I'm saying. I'm talking about as far as the law of averages. We're not talking to there's dudes doing everything.
No.
There's short niggas getting pussy, but you wouldn't say the short niggas are the mainstream.
Hey, hold on, brother. All I'm saying is Black women sleeping with all the groups of men. It's just they're only having babies mostly with a certain group. That's all. But they sleep with everybody.
Look, no. Look.
Wow.
No. That's not true. That's not
absolutely positively BS, because
ain't no man on this panel that ain't got no
BS.
pussy.
So where's the poverty? So where's the poverty? I mean, you can look
what
at
I'm
it.
saying is, if Black women were sleeping with other races of men the same way Black men,
not other races. Our
all archetypes.
Okay,
all archetypes of Black men.
I absolutely disagree with that. Because Black women are the most loyal to the Black race.
He said archetypes of Black men.
No,
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said Black women are sleeping with all groups of Black men, regardless of what stereotype you fit in.
And also, also Danielle, that's not true. Black women are not loyal to Black men. Black women. That is not true. That is, you cannot live in a gynocracy and say that. The issue, the difference is Black. You are. Come on, you really gonna try to turn that and call that loyalty? Whatever you
want to call it. And I did say, wait a minute, Tedros. I did state we may not have the same options, but Black women stick with Black men more than any other race.
Yeah, but hold on, Sister George, and you saying that though, you're alluding to the actual reason for it though. You're trying to play both sides. And again, I'm not saying this to be disparaging, but again, the dating fucking survey and shit proves it, man. American Black women are the least chose women of any other group. All right, so like you guys don't have the options that Black men have or any other women on the planet have.
Options. You didn't hear me say that?
Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you're playing both. That's what I said. I pointed that out. When you say that, it's like you're trying to play both sides, because that's the only reason you're with. Hold on, real quick. The only reason you're with Black men to the degree that you are is because you don't have the option. So, like Edward was saying, it's not a loyalty thing. It's that you're pretty much trapped there. No other man wants to pick you up.
And I'll even say this. I'm not even gonna say it's because of how Black women look. It's not even that. The reality is Black. Yeah, I'm not. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because African women in the UK white men are attracted to them if they're
Yeah,
dating
but
out at a 50%
African women
rate.
aren't
Guys,
African
look,
American. It's your
I
demeanor.
know. I was
Yeah,
gonna say I don't think it's a physical thing.
all right,
yeah,
guys, look.
yeah. The
Because of
issue,
All groups of men that sleep with black women.
and the black men.
Lord have mercy.
And we went out of the
Edward,
way.
please. Edward, please. All groups of men sleep with black women. That's a known thing. Let's stop pretending that it's not. They just simply can't have family and children with all groups of men.
Yeah. Now, what I'm
Lord have
saying
mercy.
is the reason why you don't see black women hop more is really because black women can't get away. They can't get away with the shit they can get away in the community. Once you hop to other groups, you're hopping. It may not be a true patriarchy, but it's
so
damn
it's
sure
not
more
because we're
patriarchal.
repulsed.
Okay.
No,
No,
so it's
not at
not.
all.
But some black women do have sexual preferences for black men. I'm not denying that. But what
Yeah, but
I
hold
am
on.
saying is overall, it's that you all can't get the same kind of gynocentric privileges over there. When you over there, you trapped. So you're gonna be like fucking Eve.
Hold on, let's just hang on the repulse thing. Repulse wise is like your attitudes are repulsed. No one can stand.
So our attitudes are repulsive.
Yeah.
Well, this is where the black women or bad people come from.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
they don't have a problem having sex with you. They don't have a problem with dicking down a black chick. But as far as like taking her serious and being in a relationship or wifing her, that's the reason why you guys have the lowest marriage rates. No dude's gonna take you, especially outside of black men, are gonna take you serious in a relationship aspect.
Wow.
And don't worry, Concrete. White women are catching up. They're at 50%. So sooner or later you'll be able to say them bitches ain't shit either.
Okay,
the truth is often ugly.
No,
So,
because
all right,
white
so
women, once
look.
they get to higher numbers, they can come over here easily.
It's not.
They can
That's
have the
true too.
fence.
No, but
their
black
white
women.
privilege always takes a hit. That's the thing that stops them. White men will actually. That's another
you know
thing.
what?
White men are lowering the consequences for them doing that.
Let's not worry about the white women. Let's not worry about the white women. Let's worry about the fact that black women can't get any kind of men to date them, to marry them and have children with them. Most of the children are coming from a small group of black men because most men don't want to be in a family with them and do not want to marry them. That's just a reality, regardless of what we say.
Because we're bad.
Because the numbers say because the numbers say so. Point blank, period.
Mm-hmm. The numbers say that nobody's really getting married like that.
No,
So.
the numbers say when it comes to black women, most black men don't even want a child bound.
But hold on, in Concrete Rose, even though the numbers are down across
this dude here.
What if I say that's not true? Tell me what I said that ain't true.
Hold up, but even though the numbers are down across the board, the numbers are still the lowest with black women. They're still the lowest with black women.
True.
So either that's not a valid excuse. Even though people are getting married less, that just means even furthermore less black women are getting married because no one wants to marry them in the first place.
And that's that denial. And see, Concrete, that's the thing too. This with the overarching thing. Like we're not saying this to be right. We're saying this to try to put the cards on the table to have a discussion. When people have this knee jerk,
No, Roger's saying this to cut.
I'll give you a point.
I'm saying it because let me say this, Edward, please.
I'm not going to necessarily disagree.
Edward, let me please say this.
All right.
Other women's problems don't make a solution for you as black women. You can talk about other people's problems all day long. They solve none for you.
But my point is that marriage is on the decline overall. So it's not like we have a unique.
So what? Nobody wants you as black women. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, Concrete.
Roger, I can't stand you. Oh my God.
Well, Concrete. It's just like if I were to tell black men that black men are considered the garbage feeders, ADOS black men in America, and I hear niggas start to say, "No, man, I got standards." I'm like, you ain't all black men. Like we know what the reputation is, and we know how niggas are. We know every nigga ain't like that. That's why we don't gotta say some, but not all. But we know it's way too many niggas that are fucking fat females and are happy with it. And that's, I mean, I'm not gonna say that's a killer problem, but that is a problem because that sets certain standards. So you gotta have a certain understanding to what the issue is before you fix it. And the problem with women, and see, this is actually what goes into what you're saying, Concrete. A lot of women did kind of know that there's an issue, Like, it's like they don't fight against the women that are in complete denial or that's pushing that it's not an issue because they don't want to go to war with women like that. So therefore the problem gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse because women
Yeah.
are not even having their own internal debate. Now niggas will fight each
True.
other all day for everything,
That's
but you
true.
don't see that with the women.
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. It doesn't make it sting any less, even though I know that there's truth in what you guys are saying. It still stings. I'll be quiet because I know who was that? Ted. Somebody wanted to get in, maybe Complex.
Yeah, I want to jump in.
Go ahead, Jay.
So I agree with the fellas. Marriage worldwide. Oh, I think it was OCU Concrete that mentioned marriage worldwide is going down. Marriage in the United States is going down, and marriage in Black America has always been down. But if we sit down and really think about it, minus the legal benefits and protections that do come with a legal marriage, what other benefit is there to legally become married to a woman in Black America? You're pretty much going to get the sex. You're pretty much going to get the you're going to get the
Which
damn
you can
children.
get without marrying her.
You're going to get the child, the children. The two of you can live together. The two of you can break up. You're going to end up getting everything that you're going to get with a legal marriage besides the legal protection. So that's the
Right.
reason why there really is no benefit outside, I'm going to say it for the third time, outside of the legal protections and benefits to getting married.
And I'm not a proponent of state sanctioned marriage, so I would, I'm not suggesting
Oh
that.
shit, when did this happen?
I've never been.
Regardless of that, though, the reason men aren't getting married to Black women is because they don't want to get married to bad people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what about the marriages that aren't state sanctioned? Like they can't be quantified. You can't quantify marriages that
But they rarely happen. They rarely happen.
There's
I've
a ton
actually,
of them that happen within the Muslim
no.
communities.
No, I'm gonna say I know of two of them myself. But I've only seen two in my entire life, and I'm 42.
Oh no, I know of a lot that happen within
I'm
the
not
Muslim
saying you
community.
don't. I'm not saying you don't, but they're rare. When it
I'm
comes to
saying it happens more
they are
often
rare.
than you think.
No, I understand, but the reason I haven't witnessed them is because they're rare. If it was a regular thing, they would happen on a regular basis, and regular people would see it.
No,
It don't
I'm
happen that
saying
much.
if you talk to someone who's familiar with the Muslim community, who has any ties to the Muslim community, they would have a different perspective.
I know Muslims. It doesn't happen much. And when you talk about everybody, when it comes to all of us, it doesn't happen on a regular basis because I didn't get invited to one Saturday. I'm not invited to one next Saturday. I ain't invited to the one Saturday after that. It's not happening on a regular basis, regardless of the religion.
It's something that happens in the masjid. It's not as ceremonious as a
Yes,
traditional
but
marriage would be. So
those aren't
you might
most
not
people.
be getting invited to them. But
And
who was that trying to say something?
when you say Black people as 100%, a whole of us, it's still the numbers is low, regardless of how
I preface my comment with that, so I know that it's not something that is happening at a high rate.
Well, I mean, but the argument can be: do relationships in Black America, legally married, not legally married, do they stand the test of time? And for the most part, no, they don't.
The issue here is regardless of how the marriage take place, whether it's state sanctioned or non-state sanctioned, we don't want to do it because Black women aren't good people.
Wow. Okay. Well, wait a minute. Wait. Okay.
First of all, you can only speak for you, so you saying that as if it's a fact.
Okay. Let me, because I had a problem with my mic, so I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guys?
We hear you.
Wait.
I can't.
All right. I was actually. Okay, she can't hear me. Yeah, I was actually trying to get in maybe like a few minutes ago, but I was having a problem with my mic, so I don't know if it's StreamYard. Okay, so the non-state sanctioned marriage thing. Okay, incorporated union. That's what my wife and I had. She was a Black woman, and the thing about it is that if you are cognizant enough of the benefits of having that type of union, then it'll work for you. I mean, that's largely what people who are trying to amass large sums of wealth and stuff, they tend to structure things a bit differently, and they have like a long-term plan. Now, that was just to kind of address that point. I'm
Wait,
not looking.
what kind of relationship were you
I
speaking
had
about?
no. I had an incorporated union. That's the type of
Oh,
marriage
okay.
that I have with my wife. Okay, so that's not for everybody, because just based on these discussions, the maturity level largely is not there in terms of the black culture as a whole to approach things on that level. So let's not even bring that into the conversation, because we're not there yet. As a collective, we're not there yet. Okay, that's only going to be but a few people who get a clue, who have a clue. They're going to go that route. The majority of us are still talking about very rudimentary shit, like, has pussy been defeated? Let me explain something here. I was really trying. Well, no. Because see, here's the thing, right? You know, I really do kind of get like disappointed when I kind of hear like the level of the conversation, right? And it's kind of like when I say something like, say, for example, when I say, okay, well, you know, intrinsically pussy has no value. Okay, now I would look at the person attached to it, or the person that it's attached to. Now, would that person be of value to me? Okay, well, if that person's of value to me, then it does have some value. If that person doesn't have any intrinsic value to me, then it is of no value. See, that's kind of how it works. The problem here is that we put it up on a pedestal to such an extent where we're questioning whether it's actually been defeated. That's a laughable proposition. And so I think that when I said earlier, I was like, well, it's nothing to be defeated. It was kind of just laughed off. So I said, okay, well, maybe I need to be a little bit more aggressive with my tone. It's nothing to be defeated. Okay. Its value is intrinsically attached to the person. Is that woman of value to me? No, it is of no value to me then. It's very simple.
That makes perfect sense.
And that's exactly what I was getting at. The people that it's attached to in the black community don't have much value. That's why people are not taking them seriously.
Talking about, that's exactly what you was getting at. The method in which you got there was quite harsh.
It doesn't make a difference. It's still true.
It does.
Who cares how you got to the truth as long as it's the truth?
I need you to get to the truth in a nice way.
No, ain't no nice way when you look like crap. Crap ain't nice.
Without calling black women bad people.
Well, they are bad people, so why shouldn't we call them that?
You know, I'm not about to have this conversation with you.
Can I ask a
LAR,
question?
what's up, my man?
What's going on with all these bad people? I was listening and the loyalty thing brought up. That's why I jumped on, because I don't think when we say things like love and loyalty and respect, I hate to break the news to folks, but we don't know what that is in action. Like, nobody can say, what does loyalty look like from a black woman to a black man in action? It's just said. What does the love look like? It's just said. Like, guys are actually kind of challenging. Okay, what are you actually doing when you're being loyal? What are you actually doing when you're being loving?
Some of these ideologies and some of these ideas are that are pervasive within our community came from our like great grandmothers, and things that their loyalty was action oriented, and I think as a result we kind of adopted that mindset that black women are loyal. When you thought about like some of our ancestors, they were loyal, like they were in the fight with their men. You know, they were getting hoes, they were out march, they were, you know, in the thick of it with their men. We don't see that as much today, but we still apply that same idea to us as a group, because it's always been said.
You're basically lying to yourself. Yeah, you're basically lying to yourselves as people. You're liars.
We liars and bad people. Lord have mercy.
That's what bad people do. They lie on a regular basis.
Like, okay, like if you take that, if y'all do that, say, you know, not across the board, but if that's like the majority kind of ideology, and you're taking like grandmas and great grandmas loyalty, but when it comes to what they did, you're not doing none of those things.
True.
So if you were great,
and that's what makes it a lie.
Grandma, then that means you're the complete opposite of her, so you're not loyal.
So, you know, the one thing that we can say that is applicable, that was applicable to great grandmothers, is that, you know, we're not dating outside of the race in mass numbers. But you all's argument is that it's becoming that we're not mating, you know, outside the race and marrying outside the race. But you all's argument is that it's because we can't, not because, you know, we won't, you know, we don't have that. That's not an option.
Well,
women have been dating.
The truth.
I mean,
argument is the truth.
Well, the women have been dating out. The women have been dating out for a long time. I mean,
yeah, but not at like, you know, not at largely increasing numbers and increments.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the guys are kind of right. Like, men of other races don't. Okay, let me say this. I'm gonna reverse this in a way. As a black woman, do you think black women can take other groups of women's men?
No.
Case sustained.
But wait, because I'm thinking like on an individual level. Do I think other groups of women can come in and take our men?
Hell yeah.
Only those that are open to. Only those that want to go anyway.
Hell, but no. Country road. Let me tell you something. I can guarantee you this. Okay, if there was a Colombian, Brazilian, any type of South American or Central American woman, and we ain't talking about one of these dirty foot third world bitches that ain't got nothing about herself. She's got a degree, she's got a job, she's got a career, so on and so forth. And she migrated here. She pulled out on your man. She would take him.
She wouldn't take mine, but you know, I mean, I get your point that you're trying to make.
She would take him. She
wouldn't take mine, but
she hit Dios míos, papi, and I'm sorry.
Listen, she wouldn't take mine. But listen, my man dates black women only. So
okay, yeah. Until one pulls up on him with that.
There are some men who are loyal to the race. I know it's hard for y'all to believe. You know, anything that's light and bright with curly hair that y'all think is
loyal to the race. Wow, loyal to the race.
There are some black men who aren't.
We already know that.
Concrete. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, she said treason. Did she say treason?
I certainly did.
It's treason because they're not good people. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm one of those guys who just love sisters regardless. But I'm gonna tell you something. All them other groups, they make it real difficult to still love sisters.
And listen, I'm not saying
fuck that, man. Do what works.
I'm not saying that. You know, maybe if she was Guyanese or she was of African descent, maybe I could entertain that.
Brazilians are
most of them are. The high, like 85% of them are actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, overwhelming majority of them.
With them rolling them hard.
Oh,
Concrete. Do you understand that Becky is in the South learning how to make gumbo?
Hey, collard greens, cornbread.
You do that. You understand Marisol is listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh my gosh, please.
Like,
what's going on?
Wow.
Listen, I do know that our culture is being appropriated, and we have women from other groups that are, you know, infiltrating. I know.
No. Okay.
It's not an infiltration. It's not. No, it's not.
Appropriate the culture. Who invited?
Let me ask one question. Let me ask one question to the lady.
I can't hear Kevin. Let me go out. Black women.
Wait, hold on, Kevin. She can't hear you.
She's gonna pop
out. She's gonna go off and come back on. She can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
Well, the question I have for the women is this: what do they believe the image of black women is worldwide? Not individually.
Kevin, I am. Okay. And I think that's an excellent question. I've actually asked this question on my Facebook page at one point. And collectively, I don't think Black women view us as a collective as the best race of women. And it's a shame because I ask a lot of questions on my Facebook. People will chime in on all kinds of topics. But when it came down to that question, I asked, how do Black women view themselves collectively? It was fucking crickets. And I was really shocked by that because of, we were thinking like all the Black girl magic and the sisterhood, and we're queens and all this stuff, and nobody said anything. So I don't think collectively we see ourselves as good people.
Do you understand that that's rooted in their own view, their own experience, that they realize how they're viewed worldwide?
I don't think that they notice. To me, I don't think that we look at it as a collective thing or what we're doing to add to the collective. I think women kind of look at things that go on within their personal lives and their mating choices and dating choices as something that is something that's unique to them. And so when you have a broad view of it and you look at it as a collective and it, certain things add up, it's just not looked at as favorable.
Black women do look at themselves as a collective. They just don't like to say the truth out loud. So here's the thing about image, that no human being, no group of people, no individual can escape the reality of our base programming. When you said the Black women can talk all this stuff about Black girl magic, but when asked, what do we think of our own image, they shut up because the truth is too hard to admit. Just like Brother Roger, who keeps saying what he's saying in Concrete Roses, like, yeah, don't say it that way though. Be nice about it. The truth is ugly. The truth is you're not viewed as high value anywhere, and you don't view yourselves as high value anywhere. Therein lies the problem. If you can always, and it's always been pushed off on the way men look at y'all and you talk about us and insult us and this, and then you talk, okay, then how do you talk about each other? How do you look at yourselves? How do you portray yourself in your own media? That's when the shit gets quiet because you got no one else to blame except the woman in the mirror.
I just want to follow up on a quick point that Kevin said, and this is why I find it highly insulting that you would overprice your pussy like that. That would signify to me that I don't really value myself. So that means that I don't put value or stock into the people that I choose to keep around me.
And real quick, let me this to what Sister George. Yeah, man. Black women definitely run as a collective because, like you said, Black girl magic, Black girls rock, all these things, so on and so forth. And the media outlets they have and all these other things. But like Kevin said, man, they know the truth. They know when they stack up to the other races of women, whether it be white, whether it be Hispanic, whether it be Asians or so on and so forth, they just don't have the same thing. It's just not, and not physically. We're not talking about strictly physically. It's the whole combination and totality of womanhood. They're greatly lacking for what any and every other man on the planet requires, and that's femininity and submission. They're willing to submit. The Black woman is the most unsubmissive and the only woman on the planet who runs her man, who runs her community. Other men aren't having that. And even you see the women that swirl, so on and so forth, and for the time they do it before they're kicked to the curb, you see them have to make this drastic change and kill all of their quote unquote Blackness for the sake of getting that man that they, from the other race that they want. Black men don't have to do that. Black men don't have to deal with another woman and become Asian. He don't have to deal with another woman and become Arab. Everybody comes to the Black man because of his swagger, his vibe, his style, his charisma.
I've heard Black men actually in this space admit that they had to basically let go of their Blackness in order to what's the guy's name? Chris?
Totally incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Totally incorrect.
I know what you're talking about.
LAR, you know who I'm talking about? He said
all of my nephews are biracial. That is so not true.
His name is Chris, and there was also another person. I can't think of who
he like lives in like Utah or something
he
like
moved
that.
to like West
I've got a question for.
and left everything he knows. He said like the music he listened to, everything that he does, like he
That's a
admitted
personal
that he can't be
choice.
himself.
That's a personal choice.
Yeah,
That's a personal choice.
It does happen.
So
But it's
it
not the
happens.
majority. It's not
That's
the
a
norm.
personal choice.
Yeah, that's
I don't think it's the majority. I have a ton of
No, it's a
mixed nieces
personal
and
choice.
nephews.
No, I'm in California. No, bullshit. Bullshit.
Wait,
That's a choice.
Let me make one
No one's saying it's the majority. No
Okay.
one is saying it's the majority.
I got a question for that guy y'all was talking about. Did he just have to clean up his act, or he just had to undo his blackness?
I can't.
He was undoing everything. It wasn't about a clean, because he was like a clean guy already. He just couldn't have. He basically, whatever he felt was black culture, he got away from it.
Yeah, he openly admitted that. He said even his music, like everything.
That sounds like an individual situation.
The vernacular he would use, everything.
That was an individual situation.
I mean, it was individual, but this is the main thing. But this is the main thing on an overall level. It's a problem for black women that black men want women that act like women. That's truly what the problem is. Black men want women that act like women, and that's a problem for black women because they don't want to act like women. They rather act like men.
I'm gonna tell you something. Like I know that there's a lot of truth in these conversations, despite how harsh some of the comments come off as. And I get it. You know, I don't expect you guys to sugarcoat. I'm really just giving you guys some crap. But I also think that I don't like most black women aren't going to be willing to sit on a panel full of men, even listen to a panel full of men. And, you guys speak about your experiences and talk about what you've witnessed and, kind of advise black women on the things that we need to do in order to better ourselves and openly listen to what you all have to say. The same thing, even if it wasn't coming from you all, like most women that I know, they're not interested in hearing what you all have to say. And I don't know if it's ego, because you can't listen to what you guys are saying and not feel like there's some truth there. But they're not willing to even have the conversation.
We know they don't listen to their husbands. So we know they ain't gonna listen to random guys.
Sorry.
My bad. I just want to say real quick for LAR go. We know they ain't trying to listen to panels of men because they barely want to listen to their husbands if they even shut up long enough to get one. Go ahead, LAR.
If you don't want to listen to your men, what's going to happen, and it's already happened. But what's going to increasingly happen is other women of other groups are going to tell you why they got your men and you don't.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
and it's going to be a sisterhood, sister. It's a sisterhood.
Because y'all women. I want us to do better. Like,
wait a minute,
women,
I don't think y'all can hear each other. Concrete LAR can't hear you, and I'm sure you can.
I can hear you. I can hear.
No, he can hear her. He can hear her.
Oh, okay. Because y'all was never mind.
No, he can hear her.
But I was just saying really quickly, I it's unfortunate because I want to be able to have these conversations with black women en masse, to have these conversations like, I'm admin of a group on Facebook, to take these topics and, and or clips of our shows and allow the women to listen to them without everybody getting up in arms and getting offended. And, they full of, I want us to be able to have honest conversation.
You can't tell black women the truth. You cannot tell black women the truth. You can't do it.
If you want
you can have conversation, you can have conversations, and that's all they'll ever be. I'm actually not interested. Like I have these conversations to maybe try to inject a third party perspective, or maybe just a position that normally isn't heard. But I'm not interested in the whole kind of trauma bond angle of trying to make it work with sisters. Either it works or it doesn't. And that's not really my MO, and I don't really have time to do all that shit.
I know you feel like that complex, but I always like when you come on because I think that you give good insight. I know you feel like these conversations are kind of meaningless at times. However,
well, no, I mean that's why
we have to start somewhere. And
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's why I try to. Yeah.
we're not even willing to, I think that we at least have to be willing to hear the other party out before we can, take action. And like I said, it may be too late for a lot of us. However, I'm concerned about my legacy. I'm not worried about me. I'm engaged. My daughter is engaged. My other daughter has been with the same guy since she was 15, 16 years old. So I'm not concerned about myself and my immediate family. But I think like legacy wise, this is going to be a problem down the line.
Hey, Concrete Rose, real quick. I think Elise was trying to get up on. I think she wants to address something I said. I'm not sure.
Sister George, there's a link in the chat.
I would like to ask just a very simple thing, and women don't do this. They don't do it on purpose, and it's very telling. Women can remember everything that a guy did wrong, but why don't you? Women don't write down the things that the guy did right and what she did for that guy.
Wait, she doesn't write down what the guy did right and what she did for that guy?
Yeah. Because if women say the last 5-10 guys they've been with, and all the things those guys individually did for her and all the things that she did for those guys, I would bet that the first guy did more than she did combined for all 10.
Almost definitely. Hell yeah.
Interesting.
I bet my money on it.
Black women are the worst choosers of men, just hands down, period. Like I said, that's another reason why they can't get married or they don't get married. Again,
we do.
I'm not.
No. They great.
I don't think they're the worst choosers per se, but
No,
I think they're the worst reciprocators.
No, they're the worst choosers of men, period, bro. They don't know how, again, but the lack of fathers being in the home doesn't allow them to.
Yeah, we don't know what healthy relationships look like and what it means to choose a man who's capable, who's a leader, who's, all the things that we should be going after.
They don't know what the actual man is. They don't know what the actual man is, even when they see it in their face. And then what they do is
they do.
We fall for pseudo masculinity, is what we do.
Untrue.
I like peacock.
Why do you say that, Roger?
I'm gonna say this: Black women do know what it look like, and they're great choosers of men because, from a majority standpoint, they get the same result. So when they see good men, they know exactly how to avoid them. Ain't nobody doing anything at a majority.
So we're picking what we want.
Hold on. Ain't nobody doing anything at a majority level, and it's just coincidence. They're doing it on purpose. They're great choosers of men. They simply do not want men that they have to listen to, or they can be the head of them, and they can't justify their negative behavior. They want a man to justify their behavior. So they're gonna
intentionally picking crappy men.
Exactly. There's no way you can do it that many times and it'd be a mistake.
Make it, yeah.
And I understand that because, first of all, I've said this before. When you get with a high quality man, like he ain't gonna settle. He ain't gonna deal with half the stuff that you can, pull on somebody who's subpar. And he knows his worth. He knows he's a quality man. He knows that they're far and few between. He'll be quick to be like, "You gotta go," or this ain't what.
Exactly.
So
the root of it is Black women aren't good people. That's the root.
Oh my God, Jesus!
Kick his ass off. No, I'm kidding.
Everything we're saying still gonna keep revolving right back into they're not good people. They don't want good men because they're not good women, and they won't have to be. They don't want to become a good woman for a good man.
Y'all know, a lot of times sisters tell on themselves by saying something. I had a guy like this. I've been engaged. I've been proposed to. This they've said that they've been with good guys. Even the ones who say guys ain't shit say they've been with numerous good guys.
Good men make you level up. Like you have to keep your stuff in check because he's such a good man that like they're a hot commodity. Like what woman wants to women want to be able to negate their responsibilities they want you to need them, not necessarily just want to be in a relationship with them because you could tell them to hit the door at any time.
But that's just it though, Concrete Rose. A lot of Black women take that for granted. They don't see that as a good thing. They don't see having a high quality man that other women want as a good thing. They see that as like, oh, that's a threat.
So then you keep dealing with bums, and then you complain about ain't no good men because you keep choosing
Well, yeah, so I'm
Mess up
saying
men.
they want, because they know again, this goes back to what I think Kevin said earlier, and to LAR's point to a degree too. Black women know what their stock is on the woman's market worldwide, looking out at everybody. And what happens is when it comes to, if they dealing with another black woman, it's like equal playing field. It's like I mean, this bitch ain't got nothing to offer him better than pussy, or whatever, so on and so forth, just like I do. So, but at the most part, if I got the better, vagina, or so on and so forth, I mean, it is what it is. And if he cheats, he not gonna leave me for her, because that's pussy. But when these other women come around and you're looking for the bigger picture, and you got to worry about a woman that's accomplished, or a woman that has that, the femininity and the submission thing going, then that's why you guys go into the shaming tactics of, oh, you're not what'd you say? You're treasonous. You're treason.
That's not a shaming tactic, bro. That's not a shaming tactic.
I've never heard a black man refer to a woman that swirls or chooses a man out her race is treasonous. It's
conscious
like,
men do. Conscious men do.
What's conscious? Oh, like hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah,
it's some conscious guys that would say it, but at the end of the day, the issue comes down to black women know how they operate as a group of people, and because they operate the way they do, just like Kev came on here and said it a different way than I'm saying it. Y'all know y'all image. Any other type of woman is a threat to y'all, and if a black woman acts good to a man, y'all have a lot of ways to shame her from acting good, because you don't want her to tip the scale. That's why you have people calling them pick-me's. That's why you have women saying, why would you do that for your man? You need to have him do this for you and do that for you, because they don't want no feminine woman tipping the scale. And truth be told, she can have a GED and never got past high school, and if she come around acting feminine, men will still take her, period, because men like women. We don't like men that look like women.
Well, I was trying to get Elise in. So Elise, if you want to come back, you can try to click the link now. Let Smooth in.
I dip out to give y'all some room.
Yeah, I think she wants to address something I said. I'm not sure, but okay.
You about to get it.
Yeah, man, I'll free up a spot for y'all, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all for having me on, man.
Thank you so much for coming. This was a dope discussion. Thank you. Thanks, Roger.
This was a really good discussion. Thank you, fantastic. All right. Damn. All right.
Damn, looks like everybody don't said everything.
What do you think about the discussion overall? I'm sure there's something you could add about
I think it was very productive. But I do think that your little nephew, Concrete Rose, was all that shit he was saying. But
don't do Tedros like that. He always has a dissenting opinion. Him and Gab.
Yeah, he always hanging off of a freaking titty, sipping milk.
And now he's gonna have to come back up and address what you're saying. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, let him come. It's no problem. It's no problem.
I like
But
Tedros.
as far as first, vagina is defeated. Sister George, did you come up with that topic?
Yes, I did.
I knew it. I knew it. But anyway, nice. I don't think it's defeated. It's not defeated. Like I think it was it Complex that said that with the intrinsic value and who it's linked to and stuff. Yeah, that I do agree with that 1,000%.
And that makes sense, because the same thing applies to a man's phallus. Like its value depends upon who it's linked to. So,
not really.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Haven't you seen women that get offended by random pictures being in their inbox, but if it's somebody that they're feeling or whatever, then they're not as hot about it, or they may kind of fake like they're offended, but why did you do that? And then just to spark up a conversation. It definitely does.
I know women who collect those and send them to their girlfriends they don't get none.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
I'm serious.
Elise.
The wildebeest looking girlfriends.
Oh my gosh.
Hey,
I've seen
Concrete
women put men
Rose.
on blast by it, but just sharing it like, "Hey, girl, I got a present for you." I've never seen that. Never witnessed that.
Hi, everyone. Hey,
Oh, I can't hear her. Let me back
I
out and
can't
come
really
back in.
see. Hey, Complex Design. Thanks for inviting me up. Hey, LAR.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, E, can you speak up just a little bit, love?
What's up,
Because
E?
it's hard to hear you.
can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm on my phone. If I have to switch to my tablet, I always have a little trouble when I'm in this spot. As long as it's not crackling, y'all can hear me. I'm good. So, you called me to the Carpet Complex Design. What's going on?
You took a exception to something that I said, apparently.
I did. I'm thinking. What was it? It was a few things, but one thing that I can immediately address is when the subject came up about how, women have to adjust to men of other cultures, but men don't adjust to women for other cultures, something like that. You remember when y'all were kind of having that conversation?
I don't know if I had any input on that part.
You did.
Yeah,
you always
Complex.
have
You were kind of going hard about that because I was like, I didn't say everybody.
Right. So, I just wanted to address the fact that, a lot of times people do miss that. I understand that, especially, when the dynamic is between a man and a woman, the woman's natural inclination is to yield. So I understand how a lot of men can feel like they're not the ones that's doing the adjusting. But when it comes to cultural things and, you are somebody who is, I'm sure we can all agree that at least, from the perspective that Black people are the bottom of the culture, right? The culture that we're in. That anytime that you're with somebody of another culture, there is room for that to come into that relationship, regardless if you're a woman or a man. Now, it may happen or manifest itself in different ways, right? Because again, women, we naturally adjust. We submit.
Oh, wait! You were talking
adjust to
about when I was talking about my
nephews
biracial nephews and in my family. No. What I'm saying is
No,
that
not
they
your nephews. When you were saying that somebody had brought up the point of the difference between a man and a woman is the woman has to adjust to the man, but the man doesn't adjust to the woman.
Okay, I didn't make that point. The point that I made was about my own family, like my biracial nephews, and I have a biracial niece also.
Yeah, you were saying they don't because you said you live in California.
And I made a point to that where I said, no, they are very much a part of who this family identity. That's what I was kind of speaking to. I wasn't speaking to the other stuff. I was speaking merely to that.
Well, maybe that was fantastic.
That's why I didn't understand what you were talking about because
that's what I thought you were saying too, because I was the one that was talking about it, and you were kind of like, no, like you were saying it, and I brought up Chris, and LAR was like, he remembers who he is. That's when we were talking about Chris, and I said that he came on, and you said it's individual.
Yeah, he did. He did Concrete Rose. He wrote it. That's why I'm like, I'm not tripping, and I don't let these men gaslight me.
I'm not gaslighting.
Before.
You don't have to call it the Black Brain Trust. That has nothing to do with this.
No,
how's that for gaslighting?
No, we know
that was a bit of gaslighting right there.
Look, we know that we don't necessarily agree on things, but the issue that I have is when I come to address an issue, and the man who I'm addressing the issue with wants to act like he was not just supporting that issue.
I spoke anecdotally from my own personal experience with my family. I didn't make a greater contextual point.
Okay.
I did not do that.
Men need to do what makes them happy, and this, that, and the other. But I agree with Elise's point that it does manifest itself in different ways, and that does make sense. That women are typically the ones that would be yielding. Like I said, I could speak anecdotally and talk about. I've seen situations where it doesn't happen, but I've seen situations where it does. Generally, from my experience, when I've seen men who date outside the race and they are let's say, I guess the best way that I could describe it is like maybe they're dating up. Maybe she comes from a well-to-do family, or she, comes from money, or her, like they are more likely to kind of subscribe to whatever behaviors and things that the culture that they are marrying into does. Generally, like when they're dating up, like when they're dating, if you're dating or marrying, trash, then yeah, she wants to be down anyway, so she's gonna probably mimic black culture in a lot of her ways anyhow. But when I've seen black men date up, generally, and this I've seen this in my own family too, they
But
will.
that's what the presumption, concrete, just real quick. That's what the presumption that black culture is like, hood black redneck
Thank
culture.
you. Thank
You
you.
do
Thank
have
you.
some black
Thank
people
you.
who
Wait, what's with the presumption that
you
what
said
part of
that
what I
she's
said?
dating. You said that she's dating down and that she's gonna adopt cultural mores from black people, and that's her stepping down culturally. That's what
I'm
the
not saying
presumption.
she's dating down, but when you get with a chick who is already appropriating black culture and talking how she thinks
Why
black
are you
people are
making those
supposed to talk,
assumptions? Why are you
then
making
because
those
I
assumptions?
said I'm using
You
anecdotal
know, no.
evidence.
You've
Just
only
like
seen part of it. Now,
okay, I said
I
I'm
know
using
I'm around.
anecdotal evidence,
I'm in
just like you
motorsport
pulled
circles.
from.
I know I'm in motorsport circles where guess what? You guys are non-existent.
Okay, so
Okay, you're
let me
not. No,
explain
so what
something
I'm
to you.
saying here,
I was
is, there's something to be said about proximity. Now, when you make that assumption, to speak to Benjamin's point, you're making that assumption that all brothers are just into quote unquote black shit.
I
Fried
said
chicken and
I've
Hennessy
seen it. I didn't say that it was something that is applicable to all
and
interracial
basketball.
Well, then maybe
relationships. I
we should
said
be
I've
more
seen.
careful about
Did you
when
hear
we
what I said?
phrase. I heard what you said. Maybe you should be more careful about how you phrase what you're saying because you are making
Why
general
would I be
sweeping
more careful
assertions.
when before I said anything, I said I've seen. That does not mean that it applies to each and every
No. But
party.
just
I said
because you've
I've
seen
seen.
it, but you haven't seen the other side, and that's what I'm illustrating. So you have to have more of a nuanced view.
I
You're just
have
saying
seen the
what you've
other side
seen.
too.
Well,
I have
then
seen the other
acknowledge
side
that.
too. I spoke
Acknowledge
to
that
that
part
first.
too.
And I said I've seen it in my own family. Like, okay, you can't tell me how to speak, but let's start there. So
I'm
I'm
not
not
telling you how
saying
to
that this
speak.
is applicable to everyone. I specifically said before I started off, I've seen this. So that's not saying that it happens across the board, that it happens with majority. I'm just speaking about anecdotal evidence, just like you pulled from anecdotal evidence earlier. That's it. That's all. I'm not saying it always happens, and I'm not saying I'm speak the experience that I'm speaking from. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in an all white town. I was one of 3 people that attended the black high school in town, and the
Oh
other high school
wow.
had no black people. So I'm like, I was raised around nothing but white people. So this isn't something that I'm talking about that I saw in passing. Like, this is an experience that my entire young adulthood was spent witnessing these types
So
of
the
things.
question then becomes: is this an indictment on black men somehow?
Not at all.
Concrete Rose,
What
can
do
I
you
say
mean?
something real quick?
Go ahead.
Concrete Rose, to your experience, you see the black men that you see dating
Hmm.
up or marrying up to other cultures other than black. If you see them leave their black culture behind because they are marrying up,
Hmm.
those men are motherfucking weak men. You understand me? Let me tell you one thing. You said that you grew up in an all white town and you were one of 3.
Yeah.
I grew up in an all white country
Hmm.
where I was the only black kid in the whole school. All right. And
Hmm.
let me tell I've seen a lot of
And then you're not from the
interracial.
States?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Austria.
Okay.
Sound of Music.
Okay.
Um and yeah, so I've seen a lot. I'm more of, like, I've seen interracial relationships all my life, right?
Hmm.
And I can tell that the men, black men that married up, in this case, that married white women who came from well-established families and wealthy Austrian families and stuff, they would only throw away their culture if they came from some hood ass family in Africa.
Mm.
But if they had a strong family that carried weight back home, even if it's not in Europe, oh nah,
the woman will fucking conform. Ain't no question about it.
That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I speak to something that Roger Report said earlier
Go ahead.
about the how black women choose derelict men on purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I made a video called "Tell Me Something That I Don't Know." There was a song by this rapper from Chicago named FBG Duck, and he made a song called "Tell Me Something That I Don't Know." The basic premise of the song was chicks would come to him boo-hooing about niggas that they used to fuck with all day, every day. Now, what I derived from that was, and what I've seen from my everyday life, is that these chicks will get themselves with men on purpose. They'll deal with derelict men on purpose, put themselves in an abusive setting so that they can have a story. Then they'll bring that story to the next man and use that story as cover fire. So they say, well, my last boyfriend was abusive. So if I just flash out on you and start throwing dishes at you, that's because the nigga I used to fuck with 4 or 5 penises ago really fucked my head up. So now you have to excuse my bad behavior. You know, the reason my last boyfriend was a cheater. So you have to excuse me if every time you're out of my sight, I'm blowing your phone up every 5 minutes. It's like a tell me something that I don't know. I don't want to hear no sob stories from these chicks. Yes, and I'm seeing them do this shit on purpose. They are choosing men, derelict men, and they're getting into these type of situations, and they're using these stories and these experiences to give cover fire to their fuckery.
That's interesting.
Well, I got a question to ask for Concrete.
We're going to do final comments. So, Jack, since you came in, I'm going to let you go first, since you just came in.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Concrete Rose a question about the guys that she said was changing.
Jack?
What? Can you hear me?
Oh, gosh.
He was talking.
I'm sorry, I can't hear him. I'll let him go.
Okay. My thing was those guys changing for the betterment of, now was these high school guys or was these adults like in their 20s and 30s and maybe even 40s? She
Who
probably
you
can't.
asking it to?
That was Concrete Rose. She probably couldn't hear me.
Yeah, she could. Concrete, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I can't hear Jack.
He was asking, were the girls you talking about young, like high schoolish, or grown, like 20-something up to, grown?
That were marrying the men, the black guys?
Yeah, the question was the guys that she was talking about that were interracially dating
Maybe I
and
should go out and come back
changing.
in. Let me go out and come back in so I can dialogue with them. 1 second.
You got it.
Okay. This has been a really, really interesting discussion today, though. Really.
Yeah, it went all over the place.
They're not good people.
Kick all y'all out.
I never said that, man. Jeez. I didn't say that.
What was your question, Jack?
Okay, the question was when you was talking about the guys that were interracially dating, and you said that those guys, it may have been you or may have been
it was me.
Okay, was those guys in their teens, or was these people like in their 20s, 30s, or 40s?
Young adults, so younger 20s, primarily.
Okay, so were they basically adjusting for the betterment of the relationship, or were these guys just flip modes?
I don't know what their reasons for adjusting. I guess the one that I know intimate details of that I can speak to, I can say that it didn't work out, that he didn't adjust well, and as a result, the relationship ended in divorce, and it was a whole big mess, and because he wasn't willing to conform. I don't know what their motivation was.
Conform for the betterment of the relationship, or conforming to become white?
I don't understand how conforming, like for a man conforming to I don't understand how a man conforming to whiteness is for the betterment of a relationship. I guess I don't understand how that could even work.
Conforming to whiteness?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason why
Changing the music you listen to, not being able to, affiliate with the people that you used to hang out with, not because there wasn't a hood in the town that I lived in. It was a town. There wasn't, a hood. So it wasn't like, he was hanging in the hood or anything like that. Not being able to use the same vernacular that you're used to speaking with. And, like, I don't understand how, like, that it could be for the betterment of a relationship. I don't understand how it would improve a relationship. If
well, with
personally.
the type of environment that you was in at that time, where you had a lot more non-blacks in that area, that is a totally different dynamics that was going on, as opposed to somebody down here in Atlanta or Chicago or something like
Right.
that's involved in a interracial
And that's
relationship.
true. And like I said, I was only speaking about a nuanced situation. I'm not, but even still, even if I use, Chicago, if I use Atlanta, I live in Atlanta, I've lived in Chicago, I don't see how subscribing to whiteness would be for the betterment of the relationship on either side. That's just me personally. And it's, comes from my own views, but
what is subscribing to whiteness? I'm just curious.
I
What is
just
that?
kind of touched on it.
No,
Not
so
being
like
able to
listening
use
to rock
black
music.
vernacular,
No,
being
listening
able
to
to
rock
listen.
music, kind of
Well,
talking like I do, like what that kind of thing.
No, because I grew up talking the exact same way and being
No, so
asked why I
what's
talk white.
this?
I listen to Green Day. I listen
So
to some of
what
the
is
same music that you probably would consider
what
white music.
is
I just gave you
adopting
examples.
whiteness?
I just gave you examples. You're taking this like real personal, like I'm
No, I
attacking you
mean that's
personally.
very
She's
no.
talking about pulling an undercover brother.
Huh?
Did you see the movie Undercover Brother?
I've
No.
never seen it either. I've never seen it either.
All right, we'll move on from that movie.
Yeah.
I specifically said not being able to use black vernacular, not being able to listen to the music that you like, whatever type of music you like. So if you listen to rap music, not being able to because it's black music, not being able to hang
Concrete.
around your group of friends, having to conform to
Who you think people really do that? You really think people do that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Concrete.
I will say there are
Brother Jack,
people
can you hear
who
me,
have
brother?
done that.
Jack,
He
brother,
knows
can you
about
hear
my
me, brother?
brother. I
Okay.
watched him
Concrete.
This is my brother. I
Concrete
watched
Rose.
him
I
do
think
it.
we've had this. You and I have had this conversation before, and I asked you who was the primary money earner in that situation, and I believe you told me that the woman was making more than the said gentleman in this particular scenario. Do I have that correct?
I don't remember talking about this, but
was this?
but at the
Was
time,
this yours
when they
dating
married,
a white woman in your town?
Okay, let me speak to it. So at the time when they married, he was still in college. He still had 2 years of college left, and she had already graduated. So in the beginning of the marriage, she was making money, and he was, working a regular job. So yes, in the beginning of the marriage,
I can remember you said that he was blue collar in a sense. He was working class. Maybe it's a different relative that dated a different white.
No, I never talked about this. And I know that because I was hesitant to say that it was my brother because I don't like divulging personal information on here. Not my own personal family I didn't talk about. Like I
You
said,
said
I've
it was
seen
a
this happen
relative of yours.
Well, I don't recall saying that. However, he was in college at the time that they initially married. So if that answers your question.
Now, was he going to a black school or predominantly white school?
No, he was going to a completely white school.
Yeah, well,
He
with that,
was on a basketball scholarship. He was going to a white school. Yes.
But with that individual, family member, a friend of the family, we're talking about a totally different set of dynamics.
Right, and I get that, but I told you, even if it were in Atlanta or an urban area, I don't think that basically conforming. I don't see how that would be for the betterment of a relationship for a man.
So wait. So if a white chick gets a pookie to clean up his act, that's a bad thing.
excuse me, if he's conforming to whiteness and pretending to be something that he's not, I don't see how that plays a part of the relationship. But this
Concrete
wasn't a
Rose.
pookie. This was someone who was in college and she got pregnant. They had to marry, and well, they decided to marry, and he,
All right.
changed.
Concrete Rose.
Well, since we're
Within the culmination
on
of the relationship, within the Jack, I got this.
Y'all are
Within
like,
throughout the
y'all
duration of the
like jump on
relationship,
the
was
sister
it
and
at
don't
any
stop
time
jumping on the sister.
that he was compromised and she was the primary breadwinner?
Wait, was it any time that she was not the primary breadwinner?
No, that's not what I said. During the duration of the relationship, was there any time that he was the primary breadwinner? Or was she always caking over him?
No, she
always get more money.
made more money than him.
So that's the genesis right there.
Okay.
There you have it. It's not that he didn't conform to white standards or what he conformed to white. It had nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with white or black. It has something to do with patriarchy. He got into the situation thinking he was gonna get on some egalitarian shit and do some 50-50 shit. Well, now shit, my girl got her bachelor's or her master's. I can really put my feet up and go on cruise control. And she was like, "No, nigga, you need to be out earning me. I'm on this trajectory, and I need you to surpass the trajectory that I'm on."
So what does that? But how does that mean that you change your behavior in order to like? How does changing your behavior?
How are you gauging somebody's behavior?
No, let me answer that. Let me answer that.
I'm just saying, I'm talking about my brother. I grew up with him. I know how his behavior was.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that concrete. If he thought that he could finesse the situation. Well, this is just me speculating. He thought that he could finesse the situation. Well, maybe if I adopt some of her cultural mores and start listening to whatever the scrubber fuck music she listens to, and starts to it'll kind of put her at ease and take her mind off the fact that I'm not surpassing her career-wise.
I mean, anything is possible.
I mean,
but you do have, okay, I'll give y'all a prime example of men willing, and I think what concrete means by blackness is their culture, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why that's so hard for people to understand.
Okay,
Like, why
so
is that?
Let me help you put it into context. Let me help you put it into context. Okay,
right.
if you have SYSBM saying they are willing to abandon this culture, that means that they're willing to abandon certain parts of their blackness. So if they feel like parts of their blackness is derelict or part of the culture is derelict, they're willing to abandon the culture.
Why are you not willing to abandon what's derelict?
I don't mind giving a real life example if I could just get in here, because I recognize what is happening and I don't mind providing a real life example. Okay.
Get your ass in, Lumpkin.
Right. As the man who is clearly waiting to exhale, but now I'm the one taking the shot, right? Anyways, complex design, this is what we do. I don't think it's good to just focus on like the derelict aspects of a culture that someone is willing to give up, because that really oversimplifies the argument, right?
Hey, that's what was brought up. I'm just questioning it. That's what was brought up.
Music choices is not derelict.
What was brought up, and the part that I heard where you chimed in, Complex, was, you were saying that it was almost as if you were saying that it's okay for for a Becky to get with a Pookie so that the Pookie can come up, right? Like
no, I said why would it be a bad thing if a Becky cleaned up a Pookie? What's the problem with that? When Concrete Rose sat up here and said, well, I think it's a bad thing, if you adopt quote unquote whiteness. And I'm like, okay, well, if a chick was able to put a brother on the straight and narrow and she just so happened to be white, and I guess maybe it was her whiteness that was
right. And I want to stop.
So wait, is there a good and bad adoption of certain white culture characteristics?
Being on the straight arrow is whiteness.
We go down these trains.
Well, no, what I'm saying is if the white chick was the one who was able to get him on that, is that somehow a bad thing?
What I would ask you to consider is, because I hear you saying that basically it's okay if this happens in a Becky and Pookie relationship. And these are
I'm asking if it's applicable.
Let me finish.
I was asking if it was, but wait a minute. Let's get my position correct. But let's get the position correct.
Women get shamed for in their choices of dating Pookies.
Okay,
Maybe
but
the
let's
black woman
make
thought the Pookie could help the Pookie.
I said, let's make sure my position is correct, because Benjamin he understands I was being contrarian for a reason. I'm trying to see if that logic stands the test. So if you're saying that, well, you know, I don't see
both sides of the equation.
Thank you, Benjamin. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
nobody's
Go ahead.
saying stand on a straight and narrow. Like I'm talking about leaving your blackness for whiteness, like trying to pretend that you're somebody.
What is that? Define blackness.
Whatever
let
you
me
consider
give you
black.
a real life example.
Define it.
Okay?
Define it.
Let me
Define
give
blackness.
you a real life example of the last time that I interracially dated, where I had to contend with the fact that I felt like I would be giving up my blackness. And that doesn't mean that I thought that I couldn't listen to whatever music that I want to, right? Or, you know, have the friends that I have, because I have friends like a few people on the panel. I went to a school where, hey, there were 4 black girls in our class. And I went to a very exclusive all girls school in Los Angeles. Very exclusive. Don't mind saying the name of the school. I've said it before. I'm not going to say it today. Okay. Like, my school is the type of school where your classmate might be the CEO of Disney.
Hey, Eve, we're from the same area, right? We're from the same area.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm
Stop lying. They was crip walking on the lunchroom tables.
Right, but I'm giving it perspective because, again, even all white spaces are not created equally. Okay, I've been to my classmates' houses and they've had suits of armor in their foyers, and their guest houses were bigger than my family's house at the time.
My God.
Okay, so I say this to say, the last time that I interracially dated, and I thought that I was doing it the right way, right? I didn't go seeking this man as an option because I was tired of black men. He was a man that I had known through work for a few years, and I knew that he was interested, but at the time he showed his interest, I was already dating a black man, and I was
Brad that got loose.
Right, it was
Brad
just
you
off
couldn't
the table. So here I am, single. And, now I've known this man for a couple years, and he decides that, he wants to date me, make a play. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll try this, right? I've known you for a couple years. We'll try this. So, as we started dating, because when you're dating at my age, when you're inevitably going to have conversations about your future and what that would look like and getting married and having kids. And, I tried to imagine myself, right, with his family, sitting at the ski lodge. And it's not because I don't ski. I haven't done it in years, but I do. Okay. I tried to imagine myself in these scenarios that he would give me. And I just realized that for me, among other things, I would not be happy there. And it's not because I don't ski, because I could easily be happy with my black family if that's what we were going to do. It was the all-consuming nature of, okay, I could come over here and think that it was a better deal because there's more money on the table and this, that, and the other. But, again, that doesn't necessarily translate into a better character of person or compatibility. So, I get really tired of these dialogues or these conversations that people have about interracial dating as if it's something that black women are
the takeaway here is that it didn't quite work for you. Okay. That doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be for everyone else. So it's not as if your experience is being invalidated. Hold on. I want to finish. It's not as if, and no one's invalidating your experience or what it is that you took away from that, right? Because sometimes experience is the best teacher. So I'm not invalidating anything that you said. However, I will also say this, sometimes it works for other people. Absolutely. So we also need to also allow for that possibility and that option. This is all I'm saying. I'm not discrediting or invalidating anything. I know, but I don't have any opposition to anything she said either.
Look,
can I get my take on what Elise said? Elise, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. Here's my take on this. From what I've heard, from what you've told me, and from what my my background is. Now, I have plenty of buddies that I went to high school with who married and had children with white women. Listen, white people do not. If you're a man trying to date a white woman, they don't care if you like to listen to hip hop. They don't care if you want to go to the park with your buddies on a Sunday to play basketball. They don't care
They
if
listen
some of the
to it.
buddies. If some of the buddies come over, like
Some
we
of
come
them
over
do.
we come over one of my homeboys' house, we go up in a den and play spades and talk shit, and all you hear is nigga this and nigga that. They don't give a fuck as long as you bringing the bacon home. Conversely, looking at your end, they, for the most part, if you're an attractive black woman, allegedly, they don't care about your urban mores or whatnot. Are you going to act in a way and conduct yourself in a patriarchal manner to where you'll put the children in the household before your own selfish needs? And what you just said is that you said, I wouldn't feel happy. So you let me know right there that you was coming into that relationship thinking about yourself first. So you wouldn't have fit in a patriarchal setting, because a patriarchal setting is selfless. And me as a
Maybe
man,
she wouldn't feel happy conforming.
Benjamin, please. You are not debunking anything with that.
Yes,
right.
I'm is.
Right.
Yes, I'm is.
No, you're not. The only thing that you're doing is just trying to find something to disagree with. And that's okay.
He always
what
does.
I'm saying is the narrative
Because
that
you're
gets
always
painted,
wrong and I'm always
listen
right.
to what I'm saying. The narrative that gets painted is Black women are unable to swirl, or the Black women that swirl, quote unquote, only do this because they're trying to come up, they're going for a come up. And I'm saying that, if that's what it was, then I could have easily shut my mouth and gone along to get to that $1 million bag.
Well, I don't give a shit if you did, though. I really did. I really don't care if you guys do. I mean, that's really what the hell? I don't care. Do it. Shit.
I wonder, Benjamin, was that you earlier who was talking about, is that you who said you're from Austria? I don't remember who said
No, that was the other brother that was up here.
That was smooth. But we're going to do closing comments for real this time. So we'll give everybody a chance to speak and close it out. But we'll start with you. Go ahead, Elise, and then we'll just work our way down.
Sorry, real quick. So he had brought up something that I wanted to address, because he kept referring to Black men who date out, but he kept saying that they date up. And I think that is a missing component of the conversation that happens with Black men when we talk about interracial dating, because there's always that element that gets discussed that Black women are out here trying to secure the bag. But for a lot of Black men who are dating interracially, they look at these other race women as a financial come up. And I think that there's a lot of hypocrisy in that, just because that never gets addressed.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'll jump in.
Unless it's dating up because,
you know what? I'll give you that. But what I'll also give you is Black men learn that in the Black community. Like, they were taught that by Black women first, because most Black men look at Black women as a financial come up. That's why homosexuality is so prevalent in the Black community. I mean, take Jesse Williams, a mixed guy, for example, and the chick he was with. There's almost as many examples of pretty niggas. And when I say pretty niggas, I'm talking about what females got.
Is he there?
Harry dropped out, brother.
Somebody's got his foot on his neck.
Hey, Lex.
That's actually very unique. That's very unique in the Black community amongst Black men, because of how our culture is in the Black community. You have to remember that the same thing that kind of restricts Black women's options based on culture is actually the same thing that makes Black men have an ability to assimilate into other cultures easy. You have non-Black women that are used to more patriarchy, and when they deal with us, they don't have to be as restricted. They could still be in a. Huh?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Sister George.
Yeah, he can hear you.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Go ahead, Edward. Because No.
Well, I'm just gonna say, like, I mean, BGS even says that, and so I know y'all have heard that before. Black men are much more amiable because we're used to dealing with y'all. So it's like if we're already dealing with dealing with a non-black woman, even if she's acting a lot more gynocratic than she otherwise would in her own community, that's still us. That's a come up for us as far as she's still gonna be more cooperative, you know. So that's the thing that doesn't get said. And even still, it doesn't matter why black men are doing it. I mean, people say black men are hopping because they're dealing with other ugly females. No, they're dealing with more cooperative females. At the end of the day, the reasons why black men hop is not a negative commentary on black men. That's really a commentary on black women. And I will say this too. If black women can swirl or they can, get other men, whether it's Caribbeans or Africans, why don't they do it? It's not this idea that black men are stopping black women from dating who they want to date is something that black women push out as an excuse for why they don't do so. I'm the type of person where I'd rather a black female be happy and shut the fuck up saying niggas ain't shit than a black woman being in a community dealing with somebody that they feel like they have to settle for. I'm going to be the first person to show you and shop your ass around to some of these non-black men. I don't care. That's something that black women have an issue with. And I'll leave it at that.
That was a very good point. Very, very good point. Triple X, you hadn't said anything. What you got?
What up, Lex?
What's going on, Complex? Yeah, peace to the chat, peace to the panel. How's everybody?
Peace.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say the answer. I'm jumping in this kind of late. The answer to the question is: has the vagina been defeated? Yeah, it's been defeated. It's been slayed and thrown to the side, and we on to the next. But as far as thinking man is concerned, so that's my whole take on that. Now it looks like you guys kind of extended the conversation from when I left a few hours ago to talking about interracial dating. Hey, that's a slippery slope. I didn't hear everything that was being chopped up, but I do kind of see what the fellas are saying. There aren't really like any real black men like expectations as far as like when dating a white chick or dating interracially or anything. I mean, if they cool with a black guy, they cool with a black guy. Like any interracial chicks I ever like kicked it with on that front or whatever, they never had a problem with music. Or just hanging, or me being me.
Yeah, they take us as we are.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say. I can't speak from it from the female perspective. I'm not on that side, but exactly, Edward. That's all I got, though.
Thank you so much, Triple X. Benjamin, what do you have?
Yeah, I would like to answer the overall question to the topic. Then I would like to go into why that is, just real quick.
Give me just. When y'all are done speaking, can y'all drop down? Because I still got some people in the back and I want to get their last words as well. I appreciate you guys for coming through, though. I really do.
All right, I'll just drop you, Benjamin.
Yeah, I'll drop in. All right, cool.
Thank you, Triple X, for coming up.
No problem. Take care, baby.
You too.
To answer the question, has vagina, as I like to say, has vagina been defeated? Yes, I mean, let's be honest. What's a vagina to a penis? Speak to that as to why it has been defeated. We had a case study here today with Elise blatantly saying that she put her own selfish needs above a potential family structure, and that is a problem on both the men and the women's side. The women, they don't want to put their own carnal desires aside to sustain the family. So that becomes a problem when you're talking about patriarchy. And some of the derelict men, they want to
wait a minute. Go back to that second point that you just made about women's choices, because it still seems like men are either saying that men are pookies and ray-rays, or they're on another side, but there's no middleman. And so y'all keep trying to conflate black women's mating choices to just Pookies and Ray Rays.
No. This is my thing. Pookie and Ray Ray is just an avatar. That's just a term. But I categorize it as this. Black women have a mother goddess complex, and they need to be worshipped. They will not deal with men who don't worship them as a mother goddess. So it doesn't matter if this guy's a Pookie and Ray Ray, solidly middle class or upper class. As long as he's doing things to pay obeisance to and feed her mother goddess alter ego, then she will deal with him. Now a lot of the Pookie and Ray Ray isms that you see, that's them already. That's Pookie and Ray Ray's outward manifestation to show the woman that, hey, I worship at the altar of the mother goddess. So they're already pre-qualified. That's why they automatically go for thugs, because they know that thugs are Pookies and Ray Rays and whatnot. They're already worshiping in that church. You get what I'm saying? But
right.
A man who worships the mother goddess can go across economic spectrums. You see what I'm saying? So, but Pookie and Ray Ray are notorious because they're outward with it. They display it the most. Is what I'm saying.
That's true.
All right, now with that said, let me just wrap this up. What the problem with Black people and patriarchy, especially when you're talking about interracial dating or intercultural dating, the women don't want to live up to their feminine standard within patriarchy, which is put their carnal desires to the side and put the family first. They want to do what makes them happy. That's that exactly. And the men, they don't want to live up to the patriarchal standard, the man standard, which is, nigga, you got to go slay that dragon. They want to finesse the situation to where they'll have it egalitarian. Well, I pay 50, you pay 50. And when you cross culture like that, or you go across ethnic lines like that, you're going to run into problems, because the men going across and they want to go on some egalitarian shit. The women like, nah, nigga, that's no. I want a patriarchal man. So, I get it. You're tall, dark, and handsome and all that other shit, but I need a patriarchal man who's going to carry this load. And if you don't live up to that standard, then they will tear you out the frame. The sisters trying to cross that motherfucker, they're not even going to make it to the altar.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's all I got. But, yeah, just to answer your question, yes.
Good points.
Just to answer your question, yes, vagina is defeated. That shit, you didn't stand a chance.
All right, I'll go ahead and just say my last words. Once again, thank you guys for having me on here.
Thank you.
And again, I'm really not too sure if that's something that can be defeated. Well, okay, let's just put it like this. Okay, for a certain group of us, and I'm saying us, there's a certain group of men where how we function works a little bit different. So that's not really even a question. That kind of fits into how we operate. So with that, in terms of value proposition, what I require, type of guy that I am, and I can only speak for myself. So just, something to consider. I require a helpmate. That's what I require, right? And that's what fits me. That is what is of value to me, right? So if I have that, and since I am hetero, there's a vagina attached to that, then that vagina intrinsically has value. And it's very simple. It's a very simple concept. It can eliminate a lot of the conjecture. I'm an Occam's razor type of person, right? The simplest, most efficient explanation tends to be the most accurate one, or, so I tend to go with that because it makes life flow a lot easier. So, I saw a lot of interesting comments kind of directed towards me. And, at the end of the day, man, look, we all get it how we live, right? And so I prefer a certain modality, man. I get down a certain way. So with that, peace out, y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, Complex. Okay. Roger, wait. Smooth, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What are your final thoughts?
Hey, my final thoughts is vagina is not defeated. The reason why I say this is because if vagina was defeated, it wouldn't be a bunch of Simpson Maggles running around here talking shit all the time and turning on niggas. and y'all know who y'all are. You understand me? So just because of that, you can tell that vagina is not defeated. However, as far as the brother that is trying to improve himself, like we in this space refer to him as the thinking black man, maybe in that case it would have been defeated because a lot more niggas is not really willing to put up with, the shit that niggas been getting from the past, but all in all, general, it's not defeated at all, and it can't be. It can't be. And I wanted to, what did Miss E say about my statement as far as dating up? Did anybody catch that? 'Cause I think she got me wrong.
Ooh, I don't remember everything she said.
And something about dating up. Well, I just wanted to clarify. I was really just using the Concrete Rose's example where she said that men that date women from other cultures, be it white or whatever, that they're dating up, they would give up their values to be white, and unless they're dating down a chick that is down with the I don't know, with the hip hop shit, they will be they will keep their black culture if they date that kind of woman. Now, and again, if you dating a white woman, Asian woman, Hispanic woman, and you forget that you're black and you stop eating freaking fried chicken and watermelon because of that, you fucked anyway. You understand me? You ain't like you're already defeated and you're finished. You understand me? And I really don't like if motherfuckers is gonna try and mix niggas like that with us, because that's not what we about. We're not gonna lose our culture for nobody. You understand me? You can be green, white, black, yellow, orange, whatever the fuck. We don't lose that shit. Real men don't lose that. But it's always easy to clump us together with all these weak ass niggas that be running after hyenas and shit. But we don't do that. Anyway, sorry for too much cussing, by the way. Thank y'all for listening. And to Wardros, get that nipple off your teeth, nigga. Peace.
Oh my God.
Smooth, you are so tough, bro. You are a tough ass nigga. Damn.
He's
Damn.
gone.
That's
He's
a
gone.
real nigga right there. So you want me to go next?
Yes.
Okay. So again, Smooth is part of the group of men, delusional men that I'm talking about. He had valid points. But he is delusional. Let me begin
So
with.
you wait for him to hop off the call. Okay.
No, he could have stayed on. I was talking with him in the back. He good. But yes, he's delusional, and a lot of the men here are delusional. And I'll begin with the point about. So we were talking earlier about.
Tedros, I got one question for you.
Yes.
Are you Aaron Fountain?
My name is similar to Tedros in real life. So my name is not no Aaron. No, I'm not no Aaron. I don't even know who that is.
Okay, I was just making sure.
I don't hang in these space. I don't even know who these people are, but they're delusional because of this. So they were talking earlier about black women's image and all this type of stuff, as if black men's image is somehow better. Like I don't understand how you can be so delusional to sit here and talk about. We all know that we're seen as criminals and this and that, whether it's fair or not. That's our image. Our image is not a productive image. Like in a very specific sense, yes, we're seen as athletic and sex gods and everything. I know I am, but I'm just saying, like, that in a very small and a very narrow sense do we have a good image, but the rest of it, no, we have a very negative image. So this is black male bullshit. All right, it is what it is. Now, the last thing I want to say is to Roger. All right, this is the main point I've been trying to get across. So he called me a traitor. All right,
and you are.
In other words, he says that I enable irresponsible behavior. Okay.
No, you support it. You definitely support it. You just made a statement that supported it. But go ahead.
Wait. No sirs. I think one of my habitual line stepper brothers has a show coming up tonight. This was actually for final thoughts on the topic.
Yeah. Danielle, I'm about to fire up a stream myself. So if y'all want to continue this shit, because I understand y'all got other things to do. Y'all had this up for 3 hours. I'm about to fire up a stream. So anybody want to continue this shit,
some of the shit I want to address, I'm
Well,
firing.
I will go to Edward Stream.
Okay.
I
All right.
will
Well,
go to your stream, Edward.
I've actually meant to address it with Roger, but he hasn't had a stream in a while because of technical issues. But all right, I'll go ahead and end it then. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Tedros. We're just trying to get up out of here.
I understand.
Thank you.
What? Hey, Tedros, it's nothing personal. So if you want to go to Edward Streams,
Roger, it's not personal. I'm just going to give you the facts. That's all. I'm going to give you the facts. I'm going to go to Edward.
I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you.
Continue the conversation.
Yeah. No, what I was trying to tell him, if he's willing to go to Edward Stream, I'll be over there. That's all I'm telling him. This ain't the yelling thing.
And I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, brother. This ain't a fight.
It is a fight. It is a fight. All right. Later.
Oh shit. I hate y'all so much, man.
Okay. See, my final statement is this. At the end of the day, yes, image does mean something, but knowing you're participating in something that creates the image is something else. You know, Tedros, see, because the black men, our image isn't bad because we actually look at what's going on with us and we see that a picture is being painted that doesn't include the majority of us. Now, when it comes to black women, we see a picture
We
being
can say
painted.
the same.
No. When it comes to black women, we see an image that is the majority of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because then when it comes to the majority, when it comes to negative behavior, the majority of you all are actually participating in the negative behavior. So you can't come to a counter conclusion based on actions. You can just say it on words, but you can't get it when it comes to actions. And the whole point that we have problems in our community just simply comes down to the fact that black women aren't good people. And all these discussions just come out and show how they are not good people. And at some point in time, it has to be addressed by black women because only they can correct themselves and make themselves better people. Men can't make you better people. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. And what a lot of y'all are not used to, because white supremacy controls the media, and most black women are white supremacists and do agree with white supremacy. Y'all are not used to men being able to say publicly on any type of platform that you're not good people. And I know it offends some people when they hear me say it, but at the end of the day,
I'm highly offended.
You can be offended. I don't care about your offendedness. That means nothing to me.
You come
Yeah,
on
that
here
means
every
nothing.
day and tell
Yeah.
us.
You know what? But one day women gonna say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't need to be bad people anymore. Maybe we should be good people. And they'll
One
start.
day I'm gonna put up a stream to challenge your notion that we're bad people.
You lucky they got me on hold right now. But as soon as my live streaming capabilities come back, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm on the little probation thing. I'm gonna definitely hit you with the invite for it.
Please do.
And but as I was saying, you might be good people when you will be good people when you decide to be good people. Now my thing is I love y'all enough to tell y'all the truth. You see what I'm saying? Because when it comes to black women, I'm related to them. I don't like the image of black women's that black women spread. I have relatives that are affected by what most people are doing. Y'all forget or never think about the fact that I'm related to women. So the negative behavior that y'all keep up affects my cousins, my sisters, my mom, my aunties, you know what I'm saying? My nephew, my nieces, all this stuff affects them. So at the end of the day, I don't even like the fact that you're not good people. I'm tired of y'all being okay with the fact that you're not good people. And I'm tired of y'all defending with dumbass rationalities on why it's okay for you not to be good people. I'm tired of you.
What, Roger.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Has vagina been defeated?
Well, Smooth made a good point.
Roger.
No, I'm saying to answer that question, because I at first I was saying no, because the value has dropped, but Smooth did make a good point. As long as you have a lot of guys who gonna act a certain way because of it, then I'm not gonna say it's totally defeated. I'm a back because I said it was, so I'm a back up a little bit, and I'm gonna say it's not defeated when it comes to the younger crowd. When it comes to the younger crowd, I don't think that it is. I think when it comes to the older crowd, it's definitely defeated.
Okay. Okay.
And that's it for me. Long live the habitual line stoppers.
Thank you, Roger. It was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely.
All right. My last take. So this, since I am a member of the AARP crowd, 55 next month. Thank you, Jesus. In my opinion, vagina has been catching L's going back to the 90s. The only difference is back in the 90s to the early 2000s, we didn't have social media to advertise, nationwide, if not worldwide, that hey, vagina doesn't have the value that it had back in my grandfather's days when he was born in 1918 and my father who was born in 1938. Those quid pro quo agreements that, those men in those eras had with women, which was attached to the vagina and other things, in my personal opinion, it has seriously eroded with Gen Xers and rolling into the millennials. So that is my last take. Ladies, enjoy enjoy the discussion. Y'all have a good week.
Thank you, Jack.
Much, Jack Spade. Really appreciate it. Chaos. Why you always wait till the end of the show to come on, darling? What's going on?
Van, don't say nothing.
Yeah, y'all guys be piling up the thing, man. People is whacking up and ready to come on y'all show.
And then we can't even understand what you're saying, bro.
Can you hear me good? Is my mic good?
I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, man, it's busy. So, when I jump in, I jump in. I'm not sure what this takes notion about defeating vagina or pussy, you want to call it. My biggest question is this black pussy or pussy in general?
It really wasn't about vagina in general, but it was more
It
like
was figurative. It wasn't like literal.
So, matter of fact, what do you think about it?
The only thing men should be focused on is trying to attain power. And regardless of conquering vagina and no power backing this up to dictate anything, it's a waste of time, in my opinion. Every day people get a chance to tackle vagina, and they deal with it accordingly. I don't see the point of it. Yeah.
All right.
At least chaos be quick and to the point. Gotta give them that.
Listen, these dudes be long-winded, guys, and I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all try to close the show. They want to start another whole segment. Y'all guys got to work on that. I'm just telling you, that has to be addressed, man. Because we're gonna end it.
I agree,
but it's not the time that we're going to address it. We're trying to get up out of here.
But it's a guilty pleasure because I kind of get sucked in. Danielle don't do it as much, but it's me. Like I get sucked back into the conversation myself. But thank you, Chaos, for your contribution. Thank you to everybody for contributing. This was a really, really dope conversation. We never have panels where there aren't any disagreements, but that's what makes them interesting. But this was a dope conversation. Thanks to everybody who tuned in and who came over to support and add their 2 cents. And you guys have a blessed day.
Thank you so much to everybody who came up and joined the panels. Everybody who rocks with us. We really, really, really appreciate you guys. Hope to see you guys back here on Wednesday. Another dope show. And y'all be really, really careful. I don't know everything that's going on, but just be really careful if you can. Be safe. Y'all have a good weekend or good start to your work week. Bye.